Oh yes, hit that like, everybody. Oh, we're gonna get started. Semi-live, some live, some crazy stuff. We're gonna have to do some needle drops because there's so much craziness. Let's do it. Hit that like, everybody. Almost there. Give me 1 second. What in the Sam Hill is going on here? Okay, almost. Technical issue, fixing it.
How their kids turn.
All right, let's hold on. Let's just get started right away. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. A little bit of a technical issue with my browser source not playing the audio from the videos. I don't know why that was. Just being weird. Not that matters to you. Hi, chat room. I'm going to fix that in the background while I'm saying hi to you guys. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. There's no end to it, folks. There's just, it's just friggin' brutal. And at no point, hold on, let's see if I have to grab this and copy it. And this and cut this out of here. And then we'll put this in here and we'll paste this into here. I'm having to use a different browser entirely. There we go. All right, so we looked at some of that earlier today. Okay, do we have all, yeah, okay, there it is. All the barbershop stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let me grab this. I'm gonna grab this, copy the link, put it in here. So Trump went to a barbershop in New York as part of Fox News's something to help him, something to aid his ailing campaign. And by the way, hit the like, give a thumbs up, support the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks. I will be your Hal Sparks for the rest of the evening as I Hal Sparks my way through the Hal Sparks-averse. Now, Trump is scheduled to speak at a faith and freedom gathering, faith leaders for Trump thing. And he's not up yet. I'm waiting to see when he goes live for this craziness. It's on
coverage of President.
Yeah, it's on Rumble, and there's so far nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring you in here real quick. There it is. Footage of Trump, I guess, trying to touch. He's grabbing soldiers by the pee thing, and these two folks are, I guess, sharing one phone as they chit chat until Trump arrives on the scene. They have had a bunch of borderline Gene the Jesus Machine kind of people speaking, including a guy I think who sings a couple of hymns. There you go. And a good look too. White turtleneck, check jacket. Is that the thing? Is that the kids look these days? I don't. And a gold necklace. It's like, is there a youth pastor that specializes in incel guys who find Jesus after never getting laid? Oh, thanks, Cheryl, for voting. By the way, welcome back, Facebook people and Instagram. We had an issue with them earlier, but we'll check back in with these. Can I just let me tell you something? Dan Bongholio, and all right, hit that like. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Dan Bongholio has been operating under the illusion for quite some time that he likes Donald Trump, that he is one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters, that he somehow thinks he's a smart, capable leader. Oh, the entire myth of why people actually support Trump as a mask for their own bigotry. People are going, "What is my shirt sparkling?" No, my shirt is not sparkling. It's just that the yellow in the outline of the letters is close to the green that I use for my green screen, and so it's computer pixels fighting with themselves, and that's what creates the effect. I don't quite mind. I hope it's not too distracting. But anyways, yeah. So Dan Bongholio, who is looking for DP for his bunghole, wants people to believe that that he likes Trump, and yet at the same time. And I gotta warn you guys right out of the gate. Holy smokes! This is some of the harshest nunting I've seen in a long time. And apparently, they're just looking for opportunities to wag Trump's nunt at everybody. It's brutal. Okay, so let's. Also, I would like to say for the record that Trump showed up. He was supposed to do an hour with Bongholio, who, by the way, looks like shit. I don't know how Bongholio got whiter than I am, but dude, get outside. I don't know, go for a run. Eesh. This is the kind of pallor you get from never seeing the sun and only experiencing indoor tube lighting from the mid 80s. Ooh. Now granted, he might not, Bongholio may not be this pale. They may have, and I'm not kidding, they may have fucked with the tone of this after the fact to make Trump look less fucked up and orange. That happens sometimes. Some of the people that are interviewing Trump look a little weird because somebody in the booth is like, "Hey," and they try to turn down the orange and they take all the warmth out of everyone's skin in an attempt to just kind of mute the burnt orange pallor of Trump. I'm not kidding. But aside from that, Bongholio looks a little worse for wear. Now, granted, he's been sitting in this chair for, at this point, an hour, you know, getting set up and then waiting to see if Trump's even going to come down here. And then eventually gets word that he's on his way. I think that's what the ghost of the fat person in the background is doing. I'll show you real quick. There's a, yeah, there they are. The ghost, see that ghost right there? That's the assistant or somebody going, he's coming, he's in the elevator. He's in the elevator. Do I have snail mail? Yes, I do. The address is on my website. It's the reach out address. And of course, sometimes it gets put in the chat room. All right, now, so this is the smile of a man who's like, finally, he's here. All right, so they get word and I don't know, something about signing a baseball and nobody cares. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is where he gets to set up his stuff. Now, Trump apparently does this from his own building. So everybody comes to him. So he's not even making the fucking 5-block trip to anybody's studio. Now, granted, Bongholio's studio is ass. And he doesn't work at Fox anymore because they gave him the boot. I don't know 100% why, besides asshole. I don't know. Anyways, and that looks, well, it looks like the building across the street is covered in Louis Vuitton emblems to make it look like stacked luggage. It looks like a giant stack of Ivanka's luggage outside the window. And then a half-burned flag with the Dan Bongino. So that's his fucking logo. To which I would say, fuck you. Why are you burning the flag for your dumbass sign? All right, enough of my yakking. Let's boogie. So they play a little intro so you don't have to watch Trump's gut as he walks past the camera. Too late. Here we go.
I want to hear it. I want to see it. Yeah, give me that. There you go. Give me like the 3 fingers. That would be awesome. All right, I see him coming in now, folks. President Donald J. Trump, hopefully the next president of the United States, too. Yeah, look at this guy. Man, you look good. Look at you. You been working out this morning? Thank you, Mr. President, for doing this. We appreciate it. Saying hello to
Just the fucking lumbering.
the crew. My guy.
He's a half hour late, minimum. It says 33 minutes. That's just when they decided to roll late on this shit. And he's supposed to do a whole hour. Just letting you know, we do not have to sit through a whole hour of this dum-dum. He splits early after schlonging his way through part of the interview.
Nice to see you. So
You
we're
know-
doing pretty well. I mean, the states are looking pretty good.
Listen, I have never been more excited about a race than this one,
Bullshit.
but I'm telling everyone to vote early. Bank that vote.
Well, vote early or vote.
Or vote. But
Vote early or vote. That's him correcting Bongholio. This hasn't even started, and nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. Jesus, run that by me again.
more excited about a race than this one, but I'm telling everyone to vote early. Bank that vote.
Well, vote early or vote.
Or vote. But if you can, bank it.
What? Wait a minute. What do you mean, or vote? If you're voting, you're voting. What the fuck does that even mean? And Bongholio is just like, it's like he walks around handing out turds and just saying, polish this. And they're like, yeah, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll get a nice high shine on that shit. So yeah, yeah, or vote. You know, since you've already voted early, or vote again, I guess. Double voting? Is that what we're trying this time?
Such corrupt.
It's so good to see you. Let me stand up. You are.
We have such corrupt stuff. Look at this. I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed by the alpha male energy.
It's good. Thank you, man.
And the quality of the camera work. You know, dare I say, and by the way, just so you don't think I'm doing this, this is rock solid, guys. Yeah. Don't move it. You know what I mean? It's probably... You got a non-union guy there running the camera. I'm kidding. It's on a tripod. Nobody's running a camera. They're switching between static cameras because... What?
And soon to be next president. How you been? You feeling all
I
right?
hope so.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. I really have. I've been doing a lot. Your show's going great, huh?
How many people we got watching right now? Oh yeah, move your mic a little closer, Mr. President, just to be.
Yeah, how many people we got? Millions and millions and just bazillion millions of people, whatever. Move your mic closer. But we have so many people watching, we can't even, it's like money. Money gets thrown at me. I don't even want to spend it on production or cameras or having a guy actually go tilt.
How many people we got watching? 290,000 people, and the show just started. So we'll be the biggest live stream.
The show has not just started. It started a half an hour ago, asshole. And it's on Rumble, so the numbers are all bullshit because it's literally the Rumble numbers are propaganda. It's garbage. There's no standard. There's no standard on actual viewers at all. And I know this because Rumble calls me sometimes. It goes, hey, your viewership is crowding out our bots. Our bots can't digitally slip through and kind of work their way around your enormous crowd of actual human beings watching your show. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't speak bot. Go bitch to Bongholio. And then they both hang up and keep listening. That's the way bots work.
Oh,
Yeah, we just.
You're going to have a lot more than that when this goes off. You watch.
We beat the NFL last night in live stream. You know that?
Is it?
Yeah, in live streaming, because everybody was watching it on the real fucking channels. We beat the NFL. No, you did not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we did.
No
That's
kidding.
crazy. You know why? Because the MAGA crowd are the most loyal people.
Yeah.
I've never seen a political
Your crowd is.
Fuck you. Nonsense. Gibberish. You did not beat the fucking NFL yesterday. You didn't. You wouldn't even know for a while if you were. And also, the fucking NFL stops people from live streaming the games. Like, it's on network television. They don't even know the share until later. And Rupert Murdoch bought the Nielsen ratings system a long time ago, and magically Fox went to #1 right after that and stayed there. Odd.
There's MAGA, right?
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much.
MAGA. They're like super extra MAGA. They're like, Elon had like the dark MAGA.
Right.
We're like the darkest MAGA.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. We're.
Yeah, totally. We're such like dark MAGA that like if this was the 70s, you wouldn't rent to us.
How about Elon? How about him?
How about that Elon? He does the thing and it rocket it up and
I love you.
I saw that rocket come in and he's campaigning now in Pennsylvania.
Don't you love it? It's good to have successful people, right?
Yeah, he's the sweetheart.
So
Let's go.
I got a couple of questions for you. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
First off.
Yeah.
The Secret Service, obviously a sensitive topic with
oh Jesus.
me. I've spent 12 years there, protected Democrat and Republican presidents, something really close to my heart. I know you've told the story quite a bit. We all saw it. I spoke to you the next day. We had a conversation on the phone. It was amazing. Like, you told the story almost like you weren't even there. You were so, I couldn't believe.
Disassociated, sociopathic, unable to process regular human emotions, gacked out of his brains on drugs,
Believe how
overwhelmed with untreated PTSD. I mean, pick your fucking ailment.
you came within inches of dying on television. There's no easy way to put it.
Yeah, you could. Here's an easier way to put it. Corey Comparator came within inches of being alive. Two other members of the audience came within inches of not being fucking crippled, you weirdo.
And you just, I never seen anything like it. You get up and your first instinct is to scream fight. And then you would.
Yeah, you can. It's almost as if you felt like, oh, you were either surrounded by people who would take a bullet for you. So if they do, fuck them. And you heard the shooter is down, so you had nothing to worry about, and you were about to start crying, which we can see in your face, and it was maybe rigged. I'm kidding. I'm fucking around. Just being silly. Relax, Epstein totally hung himself.
Said, which I know the people who surround you, they're really good people. The Secret Service, I've known them for a long time. But if
yeah, but you didn't come to their defense. You shit on them like crazy at a half-assed congressional hearing a week later.
we get you into office, Mr. President, we need you safe. Can we commit today to some kind of commission or reform the Secret Service? We can get some outside experts to make substantive reforms when you're in charge.
Yeah, maybe some Spetsnaz guys.
So the people I've met from Secret Service, and I know a lot of them, right? They're amazing. They're really good. They had a really bad day in Butler, and I don't know whose fault that was. You know, I guess you go top level, but that building should have been covered, obviously.
It was covered.
But if you look at what happened,
the locals pulled their 2 spotters away to look for the shooter on the ground, and he was already climbing up on the roof. If they'd have stayed where they were, they would have seen him and shot him. Nothing would have happened. The moral of the story is, when you're given a post, state your post.
happened when those bullets started going off, they were on top of me really quickly, and it's a miracle they weren't hit, actually. I think the guy was sort of stunned. Something happened to him. Something happened.
Yeah, a bullet went through the top of his head, but he was distracted by the cop that was climbing up there that he almost shot at.
The Secret Service
Again, why the fuck do we know this story better than he does?
shooter was amazing because he was very far away, and he spent one bullet, when you think.
Yeah, that's what I think of it. He spent one bullet. He was thinking of the taxpayer. Fuck you. Good Lord. He spent one bullet. Also, no, he didn't. They shot him a couple of times. Seriously. Basically, I've seen the video. I've seen the uncensored images and video of Crooks's dead body. And again, the dude's using a sniper rifle. The Secret Service sniper knows what the fuck he's doing. It's so weird. It's like Trump thinks they just tap guys on the shoulder and go, "Hey, you feel like being on a roof?"
But everybody I've met from the Secret Service has been so good. But they had a bad day. There's no doubt about it. We're not allowed in this world to have a bad day, right?
No.
It's not in this one. This is too big.
Who's we, motherfucker? By the way, he's been having nothing but bad days.
I think they did a good job the second time. Some people said you.
Bad Day is Bongholio's wrestling name. Dan Bad Day Bongholio.
Should have caught him the day before, or he should have never been there. But that was a great job that the others.
Yeah, God, what were you thinking? You could have fucking popped his tires. You could have had him pulled over for an expired license plate, God. I mean, come on. But you let him get all the way there and kill the firefighter and wound 2 other people just because you wanted Trump nicked so people could know that you're looking out for him. Gee whiz, God.
Secret Service the second time. I mean, that guy was.
I don't think so.
That guy was.
I've done
No,
this.
I understand.
They
I
do it.
understand it.
They shouldn't. That guy should have been nowhere near you.
Yeah. I understand it both ways. The individual guy.
Both ways.
I did an amazing job to see a barrel coming out of a
that
bush.
guy, yeah.
No, but to see a barrel, that was a Secret Service guy. To see a barrel coming out of a bush was something pretty amazing. But no, it's got to be safe. Got to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all shocked whenever we see a barrel coming out of a bush.
We need to reform that. It's really important.
Yeah, no bushes, no barrels. I mean, come on. I think clearly we got to open up those sight lines all around the property. I think you got to build a wall around Trump International. Probably put a ceiling on it. I would turn it into mini golf, and the only public part of it should be the glory holes in the bathroom.
How was the report? The report came out yesterday.
The report's devastating, and it confirms a lot of things that I've said being an agent for over a decade of my life. Mr. President, they have this government attitude. This kind of segues nicely into another question I had. You're from the private sector.
Right.
Okay, I was giving
No, he's not.
an example. I was chatting.
He's got a shitty, racist, family-run business. Simmer down. And he was, yeah.
waiting for you, my audience, to come down from your Fox interview and what you were doing. And I said, you're a builder in New York, one of the toughest places in the world to build. You know that. You're dealing with bureaucrats.
No. Mostly the mob, bureaucrats. Yeah, that's what the hard part is, getting those, getting the, abatements, and they're always like persnickety about the sidewalks and the depth of them or whatever. It has nothing to do with the mobbed up concrete and the fucking Chinese steel in all of his buildings.
Unions with conflicting interests.
Right. Conflicting interests with the DOJ. That's right. The unions that he's talking about having conflicting interests with the rule of law in New York City in the 70s and 80s.
How you got all this done, I don't even know, but you did.
I have a general idea. Hey, Bongholio, I could tell you. Mob concrete. That's one of the biggest ones. Trump Tower, when everybody else was building steel buildings, for some reason Trump decides to build one of the biggest concrete structures built in the city in a long time, right at a time when the mob just owned the concrete business. And it's weird that Eric would go, what do you do? Pour concrete. Is that like the euphemism for your fucking meetings that you would have with the mob? Dad, I gotta go pour concrete. Go tell the concrete guys I said hello.
You tell a guy I need 15 floors of concrete in 6 months.
He goes, one day you'll come to me and I will offer you a favor, and this favor you'll pay back to me or nothing. I'm going to make you some concrete you can't refuse. And
he tells you, hey, we came up 10 floors short.
Yeah, that's what they say. What? Hold on. This is not what the drawing says at all. Where are my other 10 floors? What can I tell you? My buddy's concrete truck had a little flat tire, if you know what I'm saying, across the river there.
You're going with the new concrete company. And by the way, you're dealing with a lot of interest, if you know what I mean, especially in the
He even knows it. He deals some interest. He knows the fucking concrete's mobbed up.
I'm in New York. You've been there, right? That doesn't happen in New York. I mean, in the government. Excuse me. You were president of the United States.
Yeah, it definitely happens. Yes, that's right. You don't deal with the mob to get shit built and get ahead of everybody else because you're willing to use dirty foreign money to pay off the fucking mob in New York when you're trying to build the wall. Maybe did Trump tell his investors, like, I'm going to build a skating rink and I'm going to have the mob pay for it?
You have these failed agencies that blew it. The Secret Service that did this whole, yesterday's technology tomorrow. We used to laugh with it. They didn't have a drone. So when you get into office, say with someone like an Elon Musk, are you planning on some systemic wide review of the FBI secret?
Oh, yeah. He's going to put AI in charge of all of it. Grok will be in charge of it. And it'll all be Tesla. Fuck me. Tesla drones flying all around the place because Tesla autopilot works great.
Service these other entities and saying, listen, we're not doing it this way anymore. We're going to produce results for the American people, or you're all getting a boot. We're out. This is it. We're done.
Well, Dan, as you know, you have to have the best people, and it's all about the people. And
it is hashtag the best people. Like he had. Who was you had the guy. You brought in that guy, the other guy. Remember all the guys you brought in that were awesome? What was his name?
I know nothing about, very little about that, although.
Yes, you're right. You know very little about the best people, except that they apparently fucking hate you and won't do business with you. Lord almighty. Oh, thank you. That's right. Who is this guy? Yes, push the algorithm. I don't like him. I don't like Hal Sparks is terrible. That does help immensely. I will thank you for that, Brandon. Nothing boosts us faster than angry emojis.
I've learned a lot over the last few weeks. It's amazing. We had
in the last few weeks about the best people.
A rally in Butler, second rally. We had 107,000 people.
No, he did not. The whole place only holds 30. You're out of your fucking mind. There was not 107,000 people there. First of all, he gets it mixed up. The whole thing was It's 101,000. 107 was supposed to be New Jersey, and that's not even true. Literally, the dude who said that was counting everybody who comes there for the weekend and all the apartments that are within earshot of those speakers in that environment across the fucking water.
Turned out, and it's become a great site. I don't know if it's like a memorial site where cars are riding up and down the road, honking their horn from all over the place. They're coming from all over the country. Yeah, it's become like, what is it in Nevada where they have the site with the aliens, right?
Area
What? All right. So you're saying the place where you got shot and Corey Comparator fucking died has become Area 51 because maggots are driving by and honking their horn at random times of the day? Holy shit. Okay. Think of all the other weird, stupid schlonged, which he says later in this interview. Some of the other stuff he's saying on stage. He just compared in trying. He thinks Area 51's a memorial site.
It's like Area 51. Area 51. Right. I think it's the largest. Butler. You have to see Butler. The streets are just loaded with cars. They ride up and down the side and they honk. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's cute. It's beautiful, actually. But
it's cute. It's beautiful. Because Corey Comparator fucking died there, blocking his family from bullets that came out of a gun from a guy who's a registered Republican whose father voted for you.
But I know the Secret Service well. I didn't know the top person, but I know the people that work on my detail. They're very, very good. You know a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
And they're great people.
And by great, he means they'll look the other way if they hear horrifying noises coming from his hotel room.
Something went wrong, and you can't let it go wrong. So I can't tell you. You'd be somebody good to look into that. You would be good. That was your business, right?
That was my business.
You would be good, but they got to get it right. It's dangerous. I'll tell you what. Being president is a dangerous profession.
This becomes a fish story so fucking fast. You're like, yeah, asshole, tell that to Barack Obama, because most of the death threats he received, and he received quite a few, were instigated by this asshole's birther bullshit.
When you think, okay, I mean, forget about me. You look, it's.
I can't wait till we all do. Old fucking what's his name? And by the way, I think I'm right. I think they toned down, like, you could see the red in that flag and the tie. It's very muted. They've taken some orange out of this because his face is so fucked up and covered in such orange blather, like they're slathered on, his burnt orange makeup there. They toned down the whole thing. So like the red isn't sharp like this red. See this on me? See how muted it is? That's why Bongino looks so fucking pale and why he looks like his skin is relatively normal, because that's what it took. They had to take that much fucking orange out of the image.
The
production company is the they. Whoever the people in the booth or the people who booth. But he has like his production team that's running the cameras. They just dialed it down. You can either use a LUT or color correction. Yeah.
1/10 of 1% die as a race car driver, right? Okay, so you take 1%, now you take 1/10 of that, that's what die. And these guys are going around a track at 220 miles an hour. The bull riding to me looks like, that's not something I want to do, right? And it's about the same, 1/10. They get killed.
It's not like it hasn't happened. JFK,
no, it happens.
Reagan was shot.
No, but when you think about it, a lot of presidents have been shot and even assassinated relative to the number. So I always say this is a
statistically
dangerous business. I never thought of that one.
Yeah, this is his I mean, under normal circumstances, this would be a moment where he finally actually grasps what per capita actually means. Let's see.
And when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
Relative to how many presidents there have been and how many have been shot.
When I ran, you think everything's peachy dory, but it's.
You do. You think everything's peachy dory, which is one of my least favorite characters in the all fruit version of Finding Nemo. Peachy dory. It's hunky dory, you fucking dipshit. Peachy keen, hunky dory. You dumb motherfucker. Look, there's a lot we can have a problem with this guy over, but I have to draw the line somewhere. God damn it. Look, the grab him by the pussy thing, apparently the public is not with me on that thing. They say apparently think a good section of them think it's just fine. The fact that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 fucking decades, and they only stopped being friends because they had an argument over a piece of real estate that Trump later sold to an oligarch who bulldozed the fucking place. Apparently, no big deal. But I am drawing the line. It's hunky-dory or peachy keen. It's not both at the same time, and it sure as fuck isn't peachy dory, you absolute dipshit. Hey, maggots, come get Grandpa before he says hunky keen. God damn.
It's a nasty business. One thing I would like to do is
learn how to say normal English colloquialisms like a regular person, you fucking weirdo. Peachy keen, hunky dory.
the first shooter, which they say was a miracle. I mean, you know, it's lucky I moved to the right. But
all right, again, bullshit. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you'd have moved to the left enough, it would have missed you too. It did what it did. You didn't get to dodge it. You can't even say, I was lucky I moved this way, because how you moved had no bearing on the traveling of the bullet. You understand? You could talk. All right, let me explain to people how fucking dumb this argument is. This is one of those things they tell you in a, you know, in a hospital when they'll say, you know, he's very lucky, one inch to the left and it would have hit his heart and we wouldn't have been able to save him. Yeah, but 1 inch further away and it would have winged him and he'd have a scratch on his ribs, asshole. So shut the fuck up. Just tell me what happened, you know. And he didn't physically dodge the bullet. The bullet wasn't coming and he went, oh, it's a good thing I went left, because I was like, I saw the bullet coming and I was going to go right, and it would have really got me in the eye. I didn't really judge the distance, but luckily I went left. He's talking about it like it's a fucking boxing match, and that's not how any of this shit works. And again, this is why he goes, I turned my head at exactly the right, whatever. No, you didn't. It just happened. That's how it happened. It was terrible because it killed someone behind you. Someone else died. 2 other people were mortally wounded. They're maimed forever. You didn't do shit. You got clipped by a piece of glass. That's why it slowed down enough where the fucking camera could catch it. Shut up. You didn't go, it's a good thing I turned right, or otherwise I had to go left or whatever. But the Lord tapped me on the shoulder and I went, who's there? And it saved my life. Bullshit. Okay. And also the stupid chart, which I don't doubt he'll bring up, shows that he left office in August of 2020. The lowest point was during 15 days to stop the spread, which was twofold. One, people were not crossing borders anywhere at that point, and especially in the United States, because we had more cases than Mexico did. And so nobody was going to leave Mexico to get a job picking strawberries or try to get into the United States to sell drugs to people that weren't out and weren't doing anything during the shutdown. And there weren't any agents to count everybody. It was a skeleton crew. Everybody was moving back. If anybody bothered to come through, they were pretty much finding an easy way to sneak around without being caught.
if I didn't turn to the right, over immigration. See, I got saved over illegal immigration, the chart. My all-time favorite chart.
Yes, you got saved by a chart that says you stopped being president in April of 2020. Nice, Lisa. Lisa mailed her ballad today. Excellent. Thank you. It's the greatest birthday gift ever. Bless you.
But the first shooter had 3 apps, and 2 of them, they say, were foreign-based. And they haven't opened those apps. And I wonder why the FBI hasn't done that. The second shooter...
Okay. No. Not at all. more than likely what they're talking about is Signal and Telegram. Telegram, the head of Telegram just got arrested in France, and basically they're able to break into that. Like they've got access to Telegram now, so everybody's all of Trump's friends who were on Telegram, you know, Mike Lee and all these yeah, like all the Ron Johnson, all those Republicans who used it to talk, and fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and stuff. They're now just moved into like, they just erased all their DMs and went to just posting. It's just horseshit. And then Signal itself, they can break into it. They are getting into it. There's just nothing to be found there yet. I mean, even if he was a wannabe, it didn't turn into anything. And he's dead. The other thing too is, say the name of them. He also thinks they're only on iPhones when this guy had multiple phones. The point is, he didn't have just an Apple phone. He had like the one that I actually saw was an Android phone. So it's so weird. Like he thinks Apple is in charge of these apps because the word, I'm serious, because the word Apple has an APP in the beginning of, like, I'm not kidding. That he thinks Apple is named after apps, or app is short for Apple. Think about how fucking dumb that is.
Shooter had six cell phones. Now, who has 6 cell phones? Have you ever heard of anyone? I have 2, but who has 6 cell phones? And you would think that they'd want those opened, and they haven't opened them. And they can
Yeah, they have.
open them, and I guarantee they opened them for January 6th. All those guys got their cells
They didn't have to open them.
opened. So why aren't they opening?
No, again, no, they didn't. They didn't have to. Those motherfuckers filmed themselves. They didn't have to crack shit. Those guys live streamed to Facebook. Hey, I'm here to shoot fucking Pelosi in her dome. This one's for you, Paul. I helped build the gallows. I brought the nails. Like, they didn't have to crack those phones, dum-dum.
So I do ask that question. Why isn't the FBI opening up those phones?
They are opening the phones.
And they're foreign. It looks like they're foreign-based.
They're foreign-based. What, the phones? Does he think AT&T is Afghanistan telephone and telegraph?
You never know, where these people are coming from. They may look innocent, like, they're nice country boys, but they may not be. So
Yeah, he's probably Chinese. Yeah, Thomas Crook's he's probably Kazakhstani. You can tell by looking at his eyes. He looks like Jesus Christ. Yeah, Crooks looks like a nice country boy.
I'd like to see him open that up and fast, and we'll get down to the bottom of it.
I suspect there's probably some foreign connections there, and candidly, I don't.
It looks
trust,
it, doesn't it? Though?
Yeah, I just don't trust the FBI,
Yeah,
Mr. President,
well,
given their experience.
I
with
understand
you.
that.
It's not like we're basing this off some hypothetical. They spied on your campaign. We have the names
No, they didn't.
of the spies. I mean, I
No, they didn't.
wrote 3 books on it. It's not. I cited left-wing sources in the books. Let me ask you.
They
Again, horseshit.
actually spied on my campaign,
No, they did not.
and then they go after the people that went.
No, they didn't. You were contacting people that are on the CIA watch list. People connected to and in support of Vladimir Putin. And after a while, after 9 or 10 calls, wherever it takes to peg the meter, they went, who the fuck is 212-704-9876? We got to get a warrant. Okay, we'll go to Pfizer and get a warrant, because this motherfucker is calling Vladimir Putin's fucking bedroom, and the phone is pinging in Manhattan, and now it's pinging in D.C. So what the fuck is going on? And they go, that's George Papadopoulos. He's been hanging out with fucking Don Jr., and now they're in the fucking White House. That's how that happened.
Went after the spies, right?
And
they
nobody-
spied on my campaign. And if you look, it was Biden and Obama and their group of people.
No, it wasn't. It was the CIA looking out for the interests of the American citizen by keeping track of our enemies overseas, particularly those that are using hacking and influence campaigns and direct violence and fucking spraying toxins in the face of dissidents and shooting them in fucking parks in Berlin. They keep a track of those motherfuckers, and you had them on speed dial, you dick.
And the deep state, they wanted that forgotten as quickly as possible. The fake news media, they hate.
What? Hold on. The deep state forgot what? Does anybody know what this means? Hold on.
And then they go after the people that went after the spies, right?
And
they spied on my campaign. And if you look, it was Biden and Obama and their group of people. And the deep state, they wanted that forgotten as quickly as possible.
The deep state, they wanted that forgotten as quickly as possible. Okay, so what did they shoot us all? Does the deep state have the flashy ray?
The fake news media, they hate to cover it. And when you say they spied on my campaign, they go, well, you know. No, they actually spied on my campaign. We have it.
No, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, dipshit. I don't go, well, you know. I say, no. They didn't spy on your fucking campaign. They were spying on our enemies abroad, and people in your campaign kept calling them. I, for the record, am the deep state, in case you're wondering. I'm the Democratic establishment. You want to blame somebody? Blame me, motherfucker. That's right. I'm the deep state, dipshit. I know exactly where you are and what you're doing all the time, and you can never get rid of me no matter what you say. So fuck you.
Also, we'll see. It's,
Leslie Stahl said
I don't
no,
think
though,
any,
so at 60 Minutes, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
She's a very credible
Leslie
source,
Stahl.
of course.
That's Bongino thinking he's being funny by slamming Leslie Stahl and saying, I suppose, with some level of sarcasm, that she is a credible source. But he's written 3 books, and he has left-wing sources to something about how they spied on his campaign.
And, you know, she never gave me an apology.
No,
and David Muir didn't give me. When I said crime is rampant,
Right.
he said, no, crime has gone down.
Crime has gone down.
Right.
And he said the
And you were
FBI
right.
told him. I said, well, the FBI, it's a fraudulent report
No, it isn't.
because they didn't include the worst
You
cities.
saw the FBI
Yes, they did.
correction? You
They
were right.
corrected, yeah.
They had to say, oh, yeah, there were 1,699 more. How do you miss a murder?
They go,
how the hell
let's-
the guy's dead?
That's right.
How do you miss a murder?
They go, let's include a few other cities like the
Right.
worst cities, right? No,
Nope. They do those regular updates. Big cities take longer to determine whether somebody died by homicide or whether they get a conviction on it or whether there's a victim impact statement that points to it directly or whether it was a suicide because most gun deaths in the country are suicide. So it takes them a little bit longer because there's a lot more fucking people than some like the crime statistics in fucking Versailles, Kentucky.
that's very sad what's happening with the FBI.
You ever say to yourself, gosh, my batting average with these media idiots is like 1,000? Like this is Trump 1,000, media losers.
He says that to himself all the time. He always has. You know who you should talk about that, Bongholio? Talk to, what's his name? John Barron, I think was his name.
0. I mean, I got to tell you, of all the media moments you've had, the one that infuriates me the most, it's actually a segment on my show, is the Leslie
Oh boy.
Stahl sir moment. Sir,
I see. So that's why you're grinding on this shit?
sir, we can't verify. You're the media, you loser. What do you mean you can't? Your job was, all you had to do was go to the FBI and ask, is this
And
thing
she
real?
knew it. She knew.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, anything you want to know from the FBI, they'll tell you right away. Especially if it's details they don't have currently. I know what you mean. Also, David Dennison. Talk to David Dennison at the FBI. It's a great idea.
But look, it's I think the worst scandal I've ever seen in broadcast history.
He's going to go with the 60 Minutes because he thinks they edited her answer to make her sound smarter. Because he, and you know why he's doing that. You know why, because the 60 Minutes, he was scared to do it. And he chickened out and all that shit. And she went and everybody liked it, even though they were tough on her. She responded. Same thing with fucking Brett Baer, right? He's still grinding with it. But the issue that he has is that his team has to ask for shit to be edited all the time. Like the Fox town hall he did with Harris Faulkner. They have to request edits. And in some cases, Fox has to put in edits so they don't get into deep shit with the Dominion case, for example. They have to cut stuff out to protect their bottom line, right? It's and so he's pissed all the time that he doesn't get edit help. Why can't somebody edit out my bullshit? Is what he's thinking.
Will maybe not be as much of a scandal. If that were a Republican, it would have been over. When they changed Kamala's answer, they didn't edit. They took her entire, which showed she was crazy. They took it out, the entire paragraph, and it was a long, lots of, they say word salad. I don't like the term, actually, but they...
Because you're tossing your words in a salad with thick, creamy dressing all the time.
Say word salad. It was just words, like rambling words.
Yeah, that's what word salad means, you dumb motherfucker. The words are all tossed together. They have no coherent meaning. That's what word salad means, you dumb motherfucker. Why? What? I don't like word salad. Why? Because it sounds good, or like salad makes it sound healthy? Is this the brilliant marketing mind that stole "Make America Great Again" and America First from other people, and when pushed to come up with his own thing, came up with CAG? Remember that? What did he come up with? CAG. Keep America Great. I told my team, keep America great. I want to make America great again. We are going to make America great again over and over. Magoo. And then CAG. I said CAG, and they were like, no, nobody liked it. But I always thought CAG would be a good thing. Keep America great. We should run on CAG and make CAG hats. And we sold a bunch of CAG hats, and I got a fucking garage full of Chinese CAG hats. Dumb motherfucker.
Horrible. So they take it out and they put another statement that you made 2 pages later. They insert it.
2 pages later.
And nobody would have known the difference, and they got caught. They got caught.
Yeah, you've nailed CBS.
And I think it's the worst scandal. You know.
Also, does anybody? All right, hold on. This whole idea that it was 2 pages later. This seems like something he's making up. Hold on. All right. Let me check in on something. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. 60 minutes. Harris interview. Edit. Changed answer. Something like that. Adding 60-minute call to make her answer more succinct, right? That's fine. They do that all the time. Let's see. Continue. Hold on. Colliers interview embroiled in bias scandal. Editing an interview. Let's do this. I'm going to grab this one. Add this one up. Okay. Before the Harris is seen giving a rambling words now that answer to a question about Israel. In the actual interview, the following answer is after weeks silence, they hit back at Trump's comments Sunday, called them false. The network who's that's his deliberately let's see, accused by them of and rambling blah blah blah. When 60 Minutes gave an excerpt of our interview with Face the Nation, they used a longer section of our answer than 60 Minutes. Same question, same answer, but a different portion of a response. When we edit any interview, whether political, about the portion of the 60 Minutes succinct, which allows time for other subjects, and a wide-ranging 21-minute thing. Okay. CBS fires back at deceitful editing. This is the Telegraph. CBS aired Kamala Harris giving 2 different answers to the same question. They didn't. They cut down the answer for this primary one. Trump leads backlash as clips suggesting rambling response on Israel changed to more precise answer. Play with an answer question about Israel. The work we've done to result in a number of movements in that region by Israel are very much prompted by or as a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. Where's out between the interview? This is the fuller answer. It's October 6th, October 7th. Hold on. Why is this not playing? Hold on. I don't know why there's... Oh, over here. Sorry.
But it seems...
Hold on.
That Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end. movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that
Yeah. So fucking what? You've got a three-circle war happening to Israel right now. There's so many multiple players in that region. The idea that we're like, oh, Israel, we're gonna say booyah, and to the Palestinians, we're like, welcome home. Like the idea that you're just gonna throw two of these fucking things. I'm sorry. How please acknowledge your super chats. Some of us cannot afford to repeat them. Hi, Julie. I apologize if I missed those, but I really do focus on making the show happen. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find back in here. Is this in the thing? Does it work in the thing? Doing it do. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. I gotta pop this out so I can see it. Pop out the chat. Pop out the chat. Okay. Hopefully it works. Hold on. It's all the members. Let's see. Sorry. Just so you know. I don't know why this window isn't opening. I will, Andrea, if anybody can, if I miss them in there, can you grab them and put them in the other chat so that I can see them? Because obviously the chat goes by so fast, it's hard to back up, and I can only back up 2 pages on mine, which is about, I have 5,300 people in here right now. So if you see any, that would be great. I'd love that. Just so you know, 1 second. Hi, chat. What's happening? There you go. I'm scrolling. Anyways, I'll go back to what I'm doing, and then I don't be upset if I don't see them in that regard. I don't necessarily read super chats automatically because I don't want people to just like pay to be heard. People should say what they could say and recognize they're part of the community here. But just so you know, yeah, there's 5348 in my chat right now, and that's just people talking. That's people who have actually typed something.
You know, it's one thing if they took even a sentence off, because they do that with me all the time.
They literally just took a sentence off.
Because I like to speak in long sentences, paragraphs, right? And if they take a sentence out, like in the middle, it really does screw it up.
By the way, what did I tell you about him being mad? What did I tell you? He's pissed because he doesn't get editing too. He wants them to tighten up what he's saying.
But think of this. They took the whole thing in and they replaced it with a totally unrelated time and place.
They absolutely didn't. They literally just shaved off the top of it and went directly to the conversation. Like, just jackassery. Like, talking out of his ass. I see. Let's see. Oh, there it is, Julie. Thank you so much. Yes, good on you for Minnesota. And did I get the KISS memorabilia? Not yet, although I still have to pick up my mail when I go to LA next time. I wasn't able to last time, but I will let you know. And thank you. Yes, there you go. And thanks to everybody who's becoming a member and the like. And yeah, there it is. Excellent. Pablo, thank you. Proud disabled Mexican American, wheeled myself down to the mail drop box and voted blue down the ticket. Excellent. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Andre. I appreciate that. All right, here we go.
And they put it in, and that's the only one that we caught. And we want them to release the tapes now. So I think I'm going to sue them, actually.
Good. Go for it.
I think.
Yeah. Have fun. Go ahead. Sue them for doing their interview on there like they do everybody else's interview.
So, no, you know what? They can't defend it.
Yeah, they can. They have a 21-minute segment and a 40-minute interview that they're cutting into other other topics, including pieces of your rally, pieces of her rally, pieces of fucking Walls talking to people.
And if they do, and even if they win, it's going to be very embarrassing. 60 Minutes, so I've done it many times.
Even if they win, it's going to be very embarrassing. For you.
Times. I did it with Mike Wallace. The best one I ever had was Mike Wallace, and he was the biggest killer. And, you know, Chris tries to be Mike, but you still have to have it.
Yeah, he's not cutting it.
He doesn't.
He's not cutting it.
But
hey, Bongholio, you're cutting it though, dude. You're just like, man, you're the next. I've often looked at him and gone, man, he's the next Leslie Stahl. I mean, there's a lot of similarity in the face and in the physique.
it's a very embarrassing moment for them, but the media is not pressing it. You would think the media would be pressing it. And I go a step.
Oh, the media. Did they have a meeting? The media? All of them? Do they have so many? Jesus.
It's so bad they should lose their license and they should take 60 Minutes off the air. This is like the $64,000 question many years ago. Have you ever read the books on television? Yeah. They caught somebody, they gave somebody the answers, right? And he was very famous. They ended up giving him the answers. And the whole thing, it was the biggest scandal maybe in television. But this is potentially...
Yeah, you remember that, the $64,000 question. Are we talking about the guy who won on Jeopardy? Or another book you didn't read?
Because think of what they did. It's election interference. They gave her an answer.
Right.
It was worse than that. They took the answer out and put a new answer in.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Mr. President, I think you should call them 61 minutes from now on because they added an extra minute for Kamala. So I think it's a mistake to call.
Okay, dipshit. No. They took a minute out. 59 minutes, you dumb fuck. That's not that's not even what he's saying. They cut out another piece and they moved up. It was less, not more. You abs. Fucking hell. Like, dude, get your criticism. It's all bullshit, but at least be consistent.
Call them 60 minutes. You're giving them too much credit. So in public speeches, just refer to them 60.
If it's too much credit, then why give them one more minute? You mean 59 minutes, you dumb motherfucker?
One. They had an extra minute for Kamala.
But how about David Muir? Everything I said.
Right. Crime is down, right?
No, everything I said, he questioned. There wasn't a thing. Every single thing I said, he...
Real quick, could it possibly be that you were predominantly, far and away, more full of shit than anybody else in any other debate in history, as per your kind of, I don't know, the standard you set even for yourself?
He questioned. And he was wrong, I think, on every one of them, I'm pretty sure.
No, he wasn't wrong on any of them. Ridiculous. You're a silly person. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks' Megaworldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. You know what you should do? You should share the show and let people know it's here, and you should subscribe to the podcast, Hal Sparks Podcast Megaworldwide, and patreon.com/Hal Sparks, and subscribe. And then please find people to subscribe. I don't know why my viewership is equal to every other big channel on YouTube, it seems, and yet my subscriptions are what am I, your backdoor man? I'm fine with that. I'm fine. You know what I mean? Basically I'm your digital side piece. I get it. But it's getting very, very difficult to explain how packed this part of the internet is. And there's a line outside the internet trying to get in here, and it's full. You know, I can't let anybody else in, but they're like, yeah, no, that's all right. There's about 75,000 subscribers. Meanwhile, sites with 1 million subscribers aren't seeing anywhere near my viewer hours. Curious, wouldn't you say? All right.
Sure, but he never questioned her on what, and she talked about Charlottesville. She talked all things that have been, as they say, debunked. Another term I don't like, but it's a pretty accurate term.
So is that what you don't like about it? You don't like that it's debunked? Or that it's accurate?
Totally debunked. Bloodbath. They used a bloodbath. I was talking about the car industry, right? Not
bullshit. That's his cleanup.
Not talking about a bloodbath. He used the word bloodbath.
Right.
These people are sick. You got to say, though, they are good at what they do. You have to admire it.
Yeah, listen,
They
if
are-
you're-
Yeah, hey, say what you will about the fucking Democrats, but apparently we run big tech, we run the military-industrial complex, we own the media now, we control most of the big corporations because they're allegedly woke, which I don't know where the fuck that came from. What else? We control the fucking weather. We have, we absolutely run NASA so that people can be convinced the earth is round and not flat. So far, Democrats are running everything. And have been for a while, or what, we only took it over since this motherfucker showed up? So either he handed us the keys, or we've always been running it, and we let you dumbasses believe he was president for a while. Oops. The deep state has spoken.
I mean,
they are sick.
You know, you and I are New York kids. You know, I'm just
Yeah, kids.
just slight tad bit younger, but you remember 1980s Times Square pre-Giuliani.
Yeah.
You know, remember the Folexes, the fake Rolexes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
all the peep shows and stuff. I mean, some of the
Remember it.
scammers were good. Remember the shell game guys?
That's
Like, they
right.
were good. Like, so
Yeah.
that's them. Like, if you're going to be good at a scammer, you might as well be good at it. That's what 60
The press
Minutes
is a big scam.
Oh,
it's
they're
it's
amazing.
terrible. It's, you know,
The press is a big scam. David Dedison.
I don't know that a country can come back if it has a fake press.
It's hard.
Because they're like the policemen, you know, they keep people honest, right? But Democrats don't have to be honest. They really don't have to be honest because they're not going to.
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to be honest. We just choose to. You're only honest when you have to be. That should tell you something. And even then,
Will never be accused of anything. It's interesting. I was so amazed that Harvey Weinstein got schlonged. He got hit as hard as you.
I mean, when you see that on Shitter or like clipped other places, it's weird. But like you hear him say it, it's extra fucking gross. Live in the schlonged is what he just said, which I suppose he means screwed, but screwed didn't sound gross enough.
They will never be accused of anything.
Okay, by the way, and let's just follow up with it. He says Democrats get away with everything. They will never be accused of anything. And his example is Harvey Weinstein, who got Me Too'd into fucking jail and is going, as soon as he gets out of the New York jail, he's going to the LA jail. He's going to prison. Again, he's going to die in prison.
It's interesting. I was so amazed that Harvey Weinstein got schlonged. He got hit as hard as you can get hit.
Also, Trump has cock on the brain right now. He's been like he says schlonged here. He's talking about Arnold Palmer's dick. Like he lately. Maybe it's just because he hasn't seen his in so long, and he can't remember where he left it.
Because he was sort of the king of the woke, right? Yeah. And yet he got
he wasn't
hit, and I figured that maybe he wouldn't get hit so hard, but boy did he get. You don't know him well. I don't know him well. But I watched that, and it was amazing. So when they do get hit, they get hit. But that's
right. When we do get hit, we get hit. Right. When someone uses their stature in the industry to make the most women-forward movies you can make in Hollywood, so that they have access to the most famous actresses in Hollywood and can make them debase themselves for that person, then fuck that person. Yeah.
That's the only one I can think of. Normally,
that's the only one you can think of. That's the Menendez. You're not gonna. I mean, he's literally like, we wanted to bounce that motherfucker. Anthony Weiner. Does he have still have a position?
Protect everybody. What they did with Adams, I think, is very suspect.
I heard you bring that up last night.
Well, I brought it up because he was on.
Oh, okay. So that's the other part. And so he wants to bring up. He's bringing this up, and to compete against Mayor Adams, somebody that they fucking hate. But the idea is that the minute he complained about immigration, And other states, other mayors have done this. None of them were actually engaged in a fucking criminal conspiracy.
On the dais, and
Yeah.
I think other people were bringing it up too.
You think it's a coincidence?
You think they were, or did you actually hear them? Are the people who brought it up in the room with us right now, pop, as Tara would say?
The immigration problem in New York City as the mayor here,
No.
and then all of a sudden the DOJ.
I predicted it. So he came out pretty strongly against the migrants taking over the city, which, as a mayor, he should, right? And not getting paid. You know, they've spent $3 billion on migrants, and the federal government's not there to pay it back. But he went against the party. I said, he will be indicted within 6 months. I know these people. Like deranged Jack Smith. This is a deranged individual.
What does Jack Smith have to do? Jack Smith was at The Hague and then was brought in as the prosecutor, as a special prosecutor against you. So there wouldn't be they could guarantee a level of fairness in it.
See, he's going to release an.
Oh, by the way, he thinks Jack Smith is deranged because he has a scraggly beard. Just for the record, that's 100% why deranged Jack Smith. He saw a picture of him because if you've ever heard Jack Smith speak, he's very quiet, very direct. I mean, he writes in his filings very strongly worded indictments and the like. But that's how they're all written, and they're written by a group of people. They're put together by the entire team, and he signs off on it because he's the primary on it. But they put these giant indictments together.
Another manifesto. I mean, is this guy is absolutely scum.
Before the election?
I've never seen anything like it. This is like tyranny.
And the judge is allowing
hammer sickle stuff.
And the judge is allowing him to do it, and it's not even believable. This guy is a sick puppy. And they're going to release something else, and always before the election. They want to do it before the election. Yeah. So election interference. Now.
Don't worry, asshole. There's going to be a bunch of shit after you lose too. Most of the stuff that's coming out will come out after this motherfucker goes to jail. The first time.
It's a terrible thing.
On the 23rd.
What's happening, and the judges. This judge is the most evil person.
I never see anything like it.
You're a lunatic. This asshole got a colonoscopy from Vladimir Putin in a private room with no other translators present. He hung out with fucking Mohammed bin Salman. He had dinner with Kim Jong-un, who actively, he's got concubines, he starves his own people to death or whatever, and he's getting every opportunity, even more so than anybody else, to defend himself in court. He's got lawyers. He's not he's getting to file multiple revisions of things. His timeline on stuff is way more giving and charitable than any other defendant in fucking history. And he's like, these people are evil. Fucking stop whining, you whingy little bitch.
They all said, well, make sure you don't get Chutkin. And who did I get?
Oh, did they?
I got Chutkin. I got Chutkin.
She's a real prize.
It's all right. Because, it has to get approved by lots of different people. Yeah. But they said, make sure you don't get Chutkin. Well, I have nothing to do with it. So.
You could have your people, I guess, file to have her recused, but you don't have a reason.
So, they supposedly pick balls, right? It's not. I don't think it works that way, but that's what they say.
Sorry. They what? They pick. They pick what?
I have nothing to do with it. So, they supposedly pick balls, right?
Hi. I'm not this. Thank you. That's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's a good one.
Maybe we can light an election day.
Summer just walked in and gave me this. It smells like freedom.
It's coconut, I think.
Yes, it's definitely, it's because you follow the coconut tree and, it's a reference to that. I'm for it. Coconut and santal, yeah. Thank you, that's very sweet. I'll burn it in. Thank you. I got a Kamala scented candle. Hold on one second. I have so much shit in my desk and I don't have a lighter. What the hell? Hold. I will leave you to it. Talk amongst yourselves 1 second. Hi, Maddie. Hi. What's it, girl? Huh? Yeah. I got one. Hi, Maddie. What's doing? What's doing? You okay? She ran away. I tried to trap her. I tried to bring you guys a cat, but this is my birthday candle that I'm lighting for everybody who's already voted, and we'll put it right here. And hopefully, when I'm pushing my buttons later, I won't set my arm on fire. Yeah. So Trump, something about picking balls. That's where we left off last. Yeah, what's this again? They pick. Okay, by the way, what he means is they're supposed to just fuck me. They're supposed to just say, the phrase is judges are just supposed to, the SCOTUS or the higher level judges, just call balls and strikes. Just call balls and strikes. That's the phrase. Just like hunky dory and peachy keen.
Make sure you don't get Chutkin. And who did I get?
lucked
I got
out.
Chutkin. I got Chutkin.
She's a real prize.
It's all right. Because, it has to get approved by lots of different people. Yeah. But they said, make sure you don't get Chutkin. Well, I have nothing to do with it. So, they supposedly pick balls, right? It's not. I don't think it works that way, but that's what they say. That's the way it's supposed to be.
No, no one says that. No one says they pick balls. Nobody says that. Nobody says they pick bulls. You moulignons, you moron. They don't pick bulls. They call balls and strikes, and when they do it right, everything is peachy keen or groovy shoes. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. They don't pick balls. You pick your balls. Go wash yourself, you nasty old fart.
You pick out of a hat, and that's a judge. But they said,
wait, you pick. I'm sorry. How did the balls get in the hat? Why are your balls in a hat? What are you talking about? Are you saying that the top of Bongholio's head looks like somebody's scrotum stuffed into a hat?
Well, you don't want Chutkin, that's for sure, and you got Chutkin.
Every ballot in a hat had Chutkin on it.
Well, think of it. What judge would do that? Forget about deranged Jack Smith.
Right.
A judge is supposed to keep it in check. What judge would say, we're going to release something, a couple of days before?
By the way, would you...
Well, they would have released it earlier this year if you didn't fucking fight everything, you weirdo.
You have almost no ability to respond to. He could be making this up. Everyone in our system is innocent till proven guilty, not guilty till proven innocent. Yeah. It's disgraceful.
It's an amazing thing. Well,
you know what?
Yeah, but nothing in that. It's just evidence, or it isn't. You can rebut it, right? Yeah, it's not like they fucking posted his private phone number. Just shit ton of stuff that's redacted by the judge in it. So what's the issue? Is that the evidence looks bad, Bongholio? Is that the problem? Hey, asshole, guess what? Trump's not only on the Epstein flight logs, he's on the Epstein call logs up till 2005. They talked all the time. Years after he said, I don't like that guy anymore, right?
I got so much I want to. Can I ask you a different question?
No, because it's hard to believe, right?
It is. It's hard to believe. Like even the CNN legal analyst, what's his name? That Honig guy was like, "This is really unprecedented." That's CNN. They don't even like it.
Did he say that about this one?
He said it about 3 weeks ago when Jack Smith released the first. You look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Honig, but it was definitely on CNN. And he was, I think, a federal prosecutor. And he said, "I've never seen anything like this."
Right, but you've never seen another like a plaintiff in a civil trial or a criminal defendant have as many punts as this motherfucker gets. The reason it's happening right before the election is because Trump and his team kept punting all this shit. If they'd have dealt with it last year, if it was all bullshit, why not just jump on it with both feet?
Where the prosecutor gets to release an uncontested memo with unproven charges, not...
No. Okay. All indictments are unproven charges. That's what a fucking indictment is. The appendix to the indictment itself is the details that led them to making the charge in the first place. These have been redacted. So you're not even seeing all of it. You're just seeing the primary aspect of it. And so that people don't think that this is just done politically, and it should be part of the public record. That's how our court system works. This asshole has gotten a pass on all of that. He's been able to hide all of the information where no other defendant would be able to do that.
Not in a courtroom, but basically a campaign document.
Right.
It was the most obscene thing. This, again, CNN, which, let's be honest, they hate your guts. And they're putting that on the... That's how bad this guy is.
The legal...
Also, it's somebody on a fucking panel that's giving the alternate view on something is what CNN does, you dumb motherfucker. That's what makes them actually fair and balanced compared to Fox. Fox has fair and balanced trademarked. You know why? Do you know why Fox has fair and balanced trademarked? Do you think if they used it, anybody else would use it at the same time as their byline? No. You know why they have it trademarked? Because trademarks don't have to be true. Coke is life is not true. But it's trademarked, and a trademark is no longer a lie. It doesn't have to be backed up. It's just words organized however you want. Little, yellow, different, right? That's trademarked. All of that is relative. None of it has to be materially true. Even the color of, you're like, they're orange, right? Little, yellow, different. Doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't have to be true, right? A slogan can be a fucking lie.
Analyst for CNN, he's the top guy, has been against all of this. He said Trump did nothing wrong. I'm so amazed. I'm more impressed with that than anything else I've seen on CNN. But, because you'd think they'd try and...
Well, hold on. Who is he? I don't see who he mentioned. Give me 1 second.
Release an uncontested memo with unproven charges.
Again, it's not a memo, you dumb motherfucker. It's the appendix that contains the evidence used in the preceding indictment.
Not in a courtroom, but basically
it's hundreds of pages.
Campaign document.
Right.
It was the most obscene thing. This, again, CNN, which, let's be honest, they hate your guts. And they're putting that on the... That's how bad this guy is.
The legal analyst for CNN, he's the top guy, has been against all of this. He said Trump did nothing wrong.
Okay. This is another example of Trump hearing someone else say something and then repeating it back to them as if it's a new piece of information to them.
I'm so amazed. I'm more impressed with that than anything else I've seen on CNN.
He hasn't seen it.
But, because you'd think they'd try and stop him.
Yeah.
Who?
He is one of the biggest guarders of the Constitution. I mean, he
Oh, yeah? Who?
really is. He's a great lawyer. He said, this is really unfair.
What was that guy's name again? That guy. What was his name? Say it. He's the top guy at CNN. You're under indictment, you dumb motherfucker. Say his name. Who?
But think of it, right before the election. Now, I don't even know what it says. This is made up by other people. It has nothing to do with me.
It has everything to do with you. It's not made up by other people. It's actually documentation. It's the appendix of all the evidence and all that they can show that's not classified that shows you were engaged with the people that put on January 6th, not just the gathering at the Ellipse, but the gathering where you gave your speech and the plan to get people to march down there, the organization that brought the Proud Boys there for standing back and standing by, that showed them showing up in buses, $3 million spent through the campaign.
And you don't even get a right to answer?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. What was stopping you? You could have filed something and said, this is prejudicial. We don't want this out there, and file that as, and you didn't. So why? Because you know you'd fail because it's not true, or because you're stupid, or because you only hire the worst fucking lawyers in the world because you're going on, like, like their tits or how good they look on a fucking billboard.
It is. See, that's election interference right there. That's cheating
How
on an
many
election.
stories have they told about you that are so? Remember you beat up the Secret Service driver? We
Yeah.
used to laugh about that in my show because I know the people.
So that's now been proven to be
that you
false.
tackled. You
But
like
listen-
you gave him a triangle
Yeah.
choke from the back of the car.
All right, again, this is like a lesson in how Bongino lies. Bongino, what he does is he hyper exaggerates the story, which was Trump insisted they take him down to the Capitol. They drive him down there, and they said no. And Trump grabbed one of them by the shirt collar like this, basically just reached up and did that. You know, and was he going to punch the dude in the face? No, he's a complete wuss. Does he think he could? Maybe. Was he crazed and losing his fucking mind when that happened? Very possibly. He's an asshole. And it's totally self-involved. He also thinks that he can hit these guys and they can't hit back. Understand that, too. Understand that there is no fucking way anybody on his Secret Service detail can defend himself against Trump with everything they have. Never fucking happened. Never. Because literally, if Trump wanted to punch one of these fucking guys, they would just have to take it. Especially if they're on his, like, personal detail. So the idea that he, like, when you're going to take me down, you fucker, like that, and he went like that. Now, you put him in a fucking triangle chokehold, you asshole. Nobody even suggested that. But by suggesting that, it's like, that's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. You made it up. You fucking made it up. Yes, and the Secret Service phone logs were erased, which is where those guys talked about it.
You're a pretty talented guy. You
Well, a
must
lot
have
of
learned
people
that in
said, "Don't
USC,
dispute that, sir. It makes you look very tough and strong." No, they
You
say
took out a couple
they say I
Secret
went to the man to the right who's a weightlifter and like 30 years old, and then the man to the right who's supposed to be a great
Took 'em all.
karate expert.
Right.
I decided to go for him, and I
That's it.
got him around the neck.
Use your skills, right?
And
your
this
Muay
was
Thai
a woman
skills.
who, I think the testimony is all now gone. So what happened?
The testimony is all now gone.
To me, here's one of the greatest scandals.
Oh, is this going to be they erased all the information from the Jan 6 stuff?
The Unselect Committee of Political Hacks, Cheney, all these people.
Yeah.
Cheney is, they say, we have a Republican. The Republican is Cheney, and then they have kissing, crying.
Yeah, he's always crying.
I've never seen him when
What's
he's
with
not
the crying
crying.
all the time with that guy?
They call him crying at him, kissing. He cries every time,
It's also Kinzinger, not Kissinger. You're thinking of Henry Kissinger? You weirdo. Also, where the fuck is the crying from? He does this with several people. He tries to use the crying thing for 3 or 4 people, and none of these people are. I don't even recall most of them crying once, much less all the time.
He's so desperate. He's a sick
Sad,
puppy.
right?
Those are the two.
Also, sick puppy is Trump's new phrase. It seems harmless, but it's also sick dog. It's also puppy is weaker than dog. Sick as a dog. Like, you could tell that he uses certain phrases because they belittle and lessen someone. But this one's just lame. It doesn't quite land. He does it all the time. Sick puppy.
Republicans, okay?
He
So they
started
say
doing it recently.
The bipartisan committee, they were much worse than any Democrat. The Democrats were nothing. So anyway, the head of it, Benny Thompson,
Yeah, he's
a real
gem.
beauty, he decided to destroy all evidence of this year-and-a-half trial.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Everything is gone. The
No, it isn't.
reason is because
Hold on 1 second, if I may. Da, 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 da. Give me 1 second, because it takes a long time for this to load. Okay, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, at govinfo.gov, select January 6th committee final report supporting materials collection. This is the actual final report. You can read it there. You can get the text in the PDF. Supporting materials in the court documents. There you go. There's supporting materials documents on file with the committee. These are all these. Lots of them. Here's all the correspondence and back and forth. Supporting materials select committee hearing videos. These are the videos they played. These are the supporting materials transcribed. These are the transcriptions of all the interviews. They did not keep videos because no one in this has been, of anybody that wasn't charged with a crime. So you just have the transcribed interview, all of which is under oath, all of which cannot be modified without an act of Congress. And there's fucking pages and pages and pages of this shit. This is just the GovInfo site, supporting materials video exhibits. These are the exhibits. These are the ones they played behind the scenes on election night, how the Red Mirage was exploited, what close aides told the president. All this shit's on here, okay? None of it's gone. All of it's archived. There it is. What the close aides told the president. I just downloaded that file. Hold on 1 second. And it's still downloading. It'll take a while. It's a big one. Because they're full. And then here you go. This is records related to the request for presidential records by the House Select Committee to investigate January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. These are all the other files, his executive orders, his letters to all these folks. There's a PDF reader if you don't have one. And then, of course, you can download all of them. Then, of course, there's this is the Internet Archive version of everything, which is still available for the record. So, what I'm trying to say is horseshit. It's they have all of it. I don't know where the fuck maggots. Explain to me what the fuck he's talking about. There's the TV news at archive. There's all the. These are all the actual coverage. This is all the aired hearings. You can watch all those. Those are on the Internet Archive. The internet is forever, kids. Let's just recognize that too. And let's go to, where is it? There's the January 6th full report right there, the final report, which is the same thing. Benny Thompson's site has a bunch of shit on there as well. Let's see. Evidence. Trump judge latest release Jan 6 evidence is heavily redacted. Here's what was included. Final report and supporting documents. There you go. Well, this should simplify it. Go away. No evidence. Jan 6 committee destroyed records contrary to online claims. Fact check. Like, it's just silly. Like, you can Google it. Just look it up.
I was so innocent. And like, as an example, this one case that I won't mention names, the person that did that said that it's been totally unconfirmed, right? It's been unconfirmed.
It's been unconfirmed? What, he didn't want to say debunked again? The girl, I don't want to say who her name is, but it's been unconfirmed? Really? By the non-existent girl you're talking about?
The Secret Service agent said, never happened. Never.
Oh, he means Cassidy Hutchinson, the girl. And the Secret Service people redacted all their, or they erased all their texts and did not share them with the committee. And they're also your team. Of course they're going to say that.
Happened. I tell you, first of all, you wouldn't be able to do it.
I worked with him in New York, Bob.
Yeah, Bobby.
And
great.
He knows that didn't happen.
Bobby's a tough cookie. Bobby's not going to let
He's a
somebody
Marine.
grab him. Yeah, you're not grabbing Bobby
But
around.
you're right. That may be a great, like you took them all out.
No,
with
I
your
have a
judo
friend
and
that say,
stuff.
why are you...
Okay, that's the other thing too is Bongholio does this all the time. You jack up the lie to ad absurdum, and then you accuse the other side of suggesting the absurd version of the lie, so they can't bring it up again. It's a lazy debate tactic. It's the shit gallop, I guess, if you'd really think about it. It's just it's fucking lame is what it is.
Fighting that.
Yeah.
Let it be. It doesn't make any difference. Let it be. You beat that crap out of him. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard, right? But I said, let's tell the truth. It never happened. I actually said...
By the way, it's not the coolest thing you've ever heard that he would beat up his own security detail who refused to take him to an unsecured area during a fucking riot. Honestly, all it would prove is that he was planning on being part of the attack.
I'd love to go down, remember, peacefully and patriotically. Do you know they don't mention that?
Peacefully and patriotically is his version of don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. Walk down there, and I'm going to go with you peacefully and patriotically. But when you get there, if Mike Pence can't do the right thing, if you don't fight, you're not going to have a country anymore. Shut the fuck up. Just because you don't get, it's like saying, don't make any noise till you get there.
Not in any paper.
No, never.
The
Yes, I do, Ray.
biggest, most important part, peacefully and patriotically. They don't mention that in any
No, I mention it all the time just to point out what bullshit it is.
paper, in any document, in anything. It's crazy.
It's in everything. They literally, they have the transcribed speech. And the part of it, interestingly enough, is we're going to walk down there, and I'm going to walk down there with you, was ad-libbed. And the reason it was ad-libbed is because if they'd have put it in the speech, they would have had to got a marching permit, and that would have warned the Capitol they were coming. So they took it out so the sneak attack would work. So the peacefully and patriotically bullshit was basically like tiptoe till you get there.
So anyway, it was all disproven.
No, it wasn't. Bullshit. Fuck you.
Did you know they've destroyed all evidence, right?
Yeah. They destroyed all the evidence.
Now, you're supposed to go to jail if you destroy evidence.
Fuck you.
Even in a civil case, you go to jail. They
No, you don't.
destroyed. They announced, we have decided to destroy all evidence having to do with the Unselect Committee.
Did they? What date was that exactly? How'd they announce it? On Twitter?
I love the name Unselect because it's called the Select Committee. I call it the Unselect.
Yeah, we understand the play on words. It's dumb. We think it's childish and silly, and we found also it's the lamest version of fucking with their name you could possibly come up with. It's the least creative, least damaging one, right? Like nobody on there is feeling bad because they were supposed to be on the select committee, and now he keeps calling it the unselect committee. I thought I was being selected, and I'm being unselected. Like, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. And it's like, it's so petulant and pitiful and weak sounding. And he wants credit for it. He so beats his chest over this shit, and it's fucking lame. You could give him points for something like, I don't know, even Sleepy Joe or like Crooked Hillary's just kind of lame. But like Little Marco or something, like it's a dig that will affect people, and it clearly, you know, it brought Marco Rubio to fucking heel like a chihuahua, right? But this is just fucking weak. Nobody cares. Nobody's getting upset like, oh, the unselect, oh dear, he said the unselect. Doesn't he realize I'm an important person? Like, and again, it'd be one thing if he just threw those around and he didn't care. If he was just like, those people over at the unselect committee, blah, 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 and, MSDNC and blah, blah, blah. He steals those from other people too. But like he explained on, what was that show, Flagrant, the podcast he did a little bit ago where he said, basically, I'm an honest person, and they laughed in his fucking face, and he didn't realize they were laughing at him, not with him. He did the same thing there. He explained unselect versus select. Like we get it. We just don't give a fuck. And it's, honestly, people are reacting to it with a shrug like, yeah, and he thinks they don't understand, like, he's literally doing a see what I did there. He genuinely thinks they don't get it. It's really cool. And if they only knew, see, it's called this, but I fucking totally did this, yo. Like, that's unbelievably fucking dumb. And he does it all the time. And he does a chunk on it. Like, he wastes fucking like a minute and a half every time he brings it up talking about this. And it's so weird. It's so weak. It's so lame. And he can't stop himself.
Do you find it weird that the January 6th unselect committee, which I agree is unselect about him?
Ouch. Easy. I'll pass that along to them. I'm sure they'll be brokenhearted, Bongholio.
I find it weird they're not interested about why Kamala Harris was not at the Capitol on January 6th, but was at the DNC when a pipe bomb was outside.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why doesn't Kamala Harris? They keep saying it's an insurrection. Why doesn't she tell that story?
It's a rigged deal. The whole thing is rigged. 100% rigged.
If you get elected, and we hope that happens.
Oh, okay. So I guess. So the idea is that she knew they were going to let maggots attack the place, so that's why she was at the DNC. And the other thing is, like, they removed her from the other side of the building. She didn't leave out the side where the bombs were, so that proves, I guess, that her detail isn't fucking stupid, but also that they were in on it somehow, that was her in the outfit, right? That wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene walking around dropping off those flaccid, useless pipe bombs. It was Kamala.
Can you get an answer as to why she was there?
I do believe. Look, this is really corrupt stuff. The other thing is, as you know...
oh, dear. So this is also what happens. He runs out of, like, little, like, buzz moment talking points that he's got kind of stored up. They're like cigarettes in a pack. And he just, like, he knows he's getting down to he's burned this one to the fucking tip, and he's got to light another one. He's like chain-smoking lies.
They really won in the Supreme Court, okay, the Fisher case and the various cases. Why are they still being held? Nobody's ever been treated like this.
Oh, okay. So the Jan 6 people won in the Fisher case. No, they did not. No, they fucking did not. Nobody won in the Supreme Court. The people who were actually charged with violence on the day, the Supreme Court is not riding in to fucking rescue these assholes for fucking storming up the stairs, beating cops with their own shields, tasing them nearly to death, breaking their bones, their backs, their hands, fucking stomping another fellow maggot, Roseanne Boylan, to death, essentially, while she was gacked out on fucking meth, redneck Pervitin. And then, and then getting this motherfucker getting Ashley Babbitt shot in the fucking chest by talking her into it. Basically that was like Kool-Aid in bullet form. And Jim, Jones over here is the one who talked her into doing it.
Nobody's ever, maybe the Japanese during Second World War, frankly, but they were held too. But
yeah, they didn't attack the fucking Capitol, you dumb motherfucker. That was just race. That was fear of country of origin and an alignment with the imperial leader of Japan that was almost cult-like. They were concerned that had spread to the Japanese people in the United States, and they were worried that they would turn, not recognizing the varying degree that those people, if they wanted to be under the emperor, they would have stayed there, for example. But that was the reason. That was it was racist, but there was a national security reason for it. But none of these people had ever done any fucking thing. None of them had actually done anything. They were locked up because there was a concern they would. They haven't even locked up all the Jan 6ers that attacked cops physically on that day.
But when you look at Portland and the damage they did and killed people, because other than Ashley, nobody was killed here.
I guess Roseanne Boylan died of natural causes. Is that the idea?
Nobody was killed. And there were no guns involved. And these are all gun owners.
Okay, first of all, yes, there were. There were guns involved. There were guns. Hold on one second, if I may. I should probably just keep this, constantly available. The da 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 da. Here we go. Let's see. Gun fired at Capitol. Oops. January 6th. John Banuelos. There he is. Where's the footage? There you get the shot of John Banuelos. Man, there you go. Man charged with carrying gun. Loaded firearm. Yada yada. See if we get this guy. No guns that day. Da da da. Oh, here you go. First of all, by the way, did these guys, real quick, did these guys look like they are dressed for a rally? Did these guys who walked up into this place in a line, did these guys look like they're dressed just for a Trump rally? Do you wear a fucking flak jacket? Do you wear a body armor and a fucking military helmet? And again, none of these motherfuckers had to have their phones hacked. They broadcast it live to Facebook because they thought they were going to win. And Peckmez says they're just cosplaying. They're not just cosplaying. These motherfuckers planned on killing someone that day. So Banuelos, hold on one second. Let me go back to here real quick. Let's see. Let me go back here. Boink. Yeah, here we go. There you go. Here you go. Okay, so these include but are not limited to. These are just the people that were discovered. Okay. Lonnie Kaufman of Alabama. Police found multiple firearms and weapons in Kaufman's possession. Kaufman's truck, which he had parked in the vicinity of the Capitol in the morning of Jan 6, was packed with weaponry, including a handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun, each loaded, according to court documents. In addition, the truck held hundreds of rounds of ammunition, several large-capacity ammunition feeding devices, a crossbow with bolts, machetes, camouflage smoke devices, a stun gun, and 11 Molotov cocktails. Court records and video surveillance show that Kaufman, who had ties to militia groups, parked the vehicle near the Capitol at 9:15 a.m. that day. Documents say that after he got out of his pickup truck at 9:20, he joined a crowd of people who walked directly to the Capitol building. He was detained later. The idea was that once they held it, he would go back for arms. Guy Reffitt, Texas, was charged with bringing a handgun onto Capitol grounds. Court documents showed that Reffitt, reported in court documents to be a member of the militia group, the Three Percenters, told his family he brought the gun with him and that he and others stormed the Capitol. Christopher Alberts brought his handgun onto Capitol grounds. An officer saw that Alberts had a gun in his hip and alerted fellow officers. Then Alberts tried to flee. Officers detained him and recovered that loaded handgun along with a separate magazine. The total number of people who carried firearms with them that day were never fully accounted for because the majority of those involved in the siege were not arrested on site, but were tracked down by law enforcement days, weeks, and months later. And that's not even including Banuelos. Now, that's why, hold on one second. Let's go to here. John Banuelos gun, January 6th. So a lot of these people, they weren't detained on the day. Let's see if they got a picture of this dipshit. Yeah, okay, so there he is. Yeah, okay, here you go. This guy. That's him in front of the Capitol with all these fucking guys. That's him showing off his handgun right there. He is not the only person in this group that has a handgun. He's the only person that allowed himself to be filmed with it. He also was climbing up on one of these things. He's got his gun under his jacket there, and he fires it into, let's see if they show it actually. That's him fighting with a bunch of other people. There he is. That's him shooting it into the sky. Hey, look at that J6 footage sign on there. That's funny. So, just straight up bullshit. These are guys who brought guns to the site with the idea that they were going to use them. This is, again, to use a word I don't like, debunked.
You know, these are people that have guns, but they never went to the Capitol with guns.
Yeah, they did. They brought
really
guns to
amazing.
Hold on. Bongholio knows they have guns. Trump may have deluded himself, or other people hid it from him, or fucking didn't mention it to him because they thought it might upset him, or he certainly didn't watch the fucking Jan 6 shit, and he hasn't looked at any of the cases of people who've been busted at all. But Bongholio, hey, Dan, you fucking tool. You know there were guns that day. There were guns discharged that day. And not only that, there were people who stole guns from the cops they beat. Who the fuck goes to a rally in body armor, carrying bear spray with knives, by the way, and know that they have a buddy who's in their organization they've been sharing emails with who has a truckload of fucking guns for when the moment comes? They built a fucking gallows.
It's a very sad. I think it's a very sad day in the country's life. Yeah. But here's the end of this: they destroyed and deleted all evidence.
No, they didn't. They didn't even destroy the majority of the evidence. You absolute asshat. The majority of the evidence was live streamed by the participants.
So now we're not going to know.
Again, real quick. Maggots, and I know there's some out there. We have an enormous crowd right now. This is the greatest live stream that's ever happened, and you guys know it. You know it. You know I'm right about this shit. You know I've covered this stuff here, hither and yon. I've brought all the details from the, absolutely devastating, rage-filled, bad stuff to the peachy keen things. I've shown you all this stuff. You know it. He might be stupid enough or forgetful enough to just not know that there were multiple guns that day. But Dan Bongholio fucking knows this. Dan Bongholio used to be in the Secret Service. Dan Bongholio knows a bunch of Secret Service fucking guys. And those guys, one of the reasons why they didn't want to take Trump down there was because he had them dismantle the magnetometers, because it was slowing down the number of people getting into his rally, because a lot of them had guns. And he wanted it that way. That's why they didn't take him. There was no way to fucking secure it. These people are fucking crazy. If they'd have failed, they very well may have killed him in the process. Time to martyr him. We need a new leader. Bang. Like that's in the realm of possibility. And if it isn't, the Secret Service detail that he had at the time should have lost their job too. It's just dumb. I don't honestly believe he doesn't know there were weapons there that day and an organized militia. He's a liar. This is garbage. But I know for sure that Bongholio knows. I believe Trump is lying. I know Bongholio knows better. Because Bongholio is dumb, but he's not smart enough to be stupid.
You know what she said about how I beat the crap out of these two Secret Service agents?
Right.
Nobody says you beat the crap out of anyone. You couldn't beat the crap out of anyone. Nobody believes you would or would ever have the ability to fucking do it. That's what I mean. He surrounds himself with like slight women, so he might, if at some point he needs to beat someone up, there's somebody he thinks he could take, and I doubt he could. I think Cassidy Hutchins could take him.
I was so strong. Yeah. My arm just ripped around those big necks. 24-inch necks. Yeah. I ripped my arm around them and they didn't have a chance.
I ripped my arm around them and they didn't even have a chance. Okay. That's not a sentence either. Nobody talks like that, Mr. fucking Peachy Dory.
No. Dan, can you imagine that?
No, I know.
But how do...
No one can. That's the point. That's how a lie is constructed.
How do they delete it and destroy it?
They didn't. They don't. You can't. It all exists. It's still there. Nobody did that. You're making it up. Somebody told you. The reason why it's hard to fathom is because it's unfathomable.
Not allowed to do that.
The Secret Service
they didn't do it.
Deleted the text from that day too, and they said it was a tech transfer. It was not. It's a lie. So if you get elected, I'm really hoping we can get to the bottom. We should.
Do you really? Do you think they deleted those things and didn't hand them over to the Jan 6 committee? The Jan 6 committee didn't delete these things. Fucking Liz Cheney didn't delete these fucking documents, you dumbass. The Secret Service that was with him on that day got rid of their communications about that day. So, sorry, do you think they got rid of them because it made him look too good?
Talk about that. Can I ask you something else about switching gears a minute? You know, the media paints you into this ridiculous. You've seen the caricatures; they're insane. You know.
Oh yeah, what's insane about them? That he grabs women by the pussy and he starts kissing them without even asking, and that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 fucking decades and only broke up with him over a real estate fucking deal, and allows people to perpetuate a lie that it was because of some young girl at Mar-a-Lago and Epstein overstepped the line, as if that makes it any fucking better. It's like it's totally fine for Epstein to farm fucking teenage girls out of the local high schools, but you better not fuck with one of my members at my special club. Eat shit.
When I was going through cancer treatment at Sloan Kettering, I was going in for surgery, and I had a bad incident. And you called me that day from the White House, and I got to tell you, I was really touched by the whole thing. You are extremely loyal to your friends. And I say to people, you know why? Because he's a Queens guy. And tell me if I'm right. Here's my theory, Donald Trump theory on Queens, why you got the bravado and the machismo, and why the guys really
bullshit, you mean? Why he bullshits?
Like you and the Bro podcast. Queens guys, we never had the money of the Manhattan kids. So you don't have like the class like of the Manhattan. You're not in like...
Yeah, still don't.
The upper crust of this fake...
Trump is not liking this. He is not liking hearing that somehow he's still a Queens scumbag. Hey, asshole, he left that behind a long fucking time ago. He does not bond with you. He's a bullshitter that managed to get himself a building on Central Park.
Caste system we have in New York. You know it exists.
Yeah.
But we're never given...
Yeah. He's only who he is because it exists, you dumb motherfucker.
And the tough guy credit the Brooklyn and the Bronx kids are. Nobody wants to fight them just because they say they're from Brooklyn. So when we're from Queens, we always got to say it and do it. We just can't show up and, oh, this guy's got money. He's from Central Park West, or he's from Brooklyn. He's tough. Hey, tell me I'm not right about Queens. Is that the Donald Trump phenomenon?
Well,
No. Fuck are you talking about? You think this asshole was on like the mean street of Queens, like he was a fucking side character in The Warriors or something? The fuck out of here. He went to private school. He was a legacy. He went to fucking the Wharton School of Finance as a legacy admission. There's nothing fucking Queens about this. But thanks for letting us know, Bongholio, that you're a big fucking flap.
It's a great place to learn. A lot of very successful people came out of Queens. Queens is it's a place of successful people, as you know.
Oh, is it?
But so is Brooklyn, and maybe the Bronx too. A little bit
Paula's
different.
from the Bronx.
Huh?
Paula, yeah,
Oh,
lovely
wow.
Paula. She looks good, doesn't she?
It's good, beyond good. It's really.
It's crazy
great.
being married to a 25-year-old.
I know,
It's just so
and doing
weird.
well, and
Yeah.
and she has a lot to do with your success.
Oh my gosh.
I have seen over the years people married and having.
Okay, let's just talk about the fact that they just jettisoned this ridiculous fucking talking point that Bongholio thinks bonds him to Donald Trump, and Trump's honest reaction to it is, fuck you, I got out of Queens for a reason. I'm Manhattan, bitch. That's what he thinks. Christ, did he go back to Queens for his stupid little rally? He went to the Bronx. Think about it. He didn't go back to Queens and go, this is where I grew up and I'm going back to my roots. He can't stand the fucking place. Low rent, poor, mixed family bullshit. He can't stand it. That's why he's like, I don't know, Manhattan, the whole area, just a lot of great people come out of there. Anyways, I see people marry and nice tits.
Having a great relationship and they're successful, then it doesn't work out. They go to somebody else and they lose everything. You know, the man behind the woman and the woman behind the man is both. It works out both ways. But I've seen many cases where somebody's successful but with somebody else not successful at all.
Really? You've seen that, have you? So some couples work well together and others don't. Mr. buried his fucking kid's mom on a golf course with no headstone. Jesus Christ. Like, how in the world does anybody think this guy is capable of anything?
I see it with
Melania, your
athletes.
secret weapon?
Melania?
No. Fuck no. Is that your secret weapon? Yeah, it was his first wife and his third wife. He skipped one in the middle during the fucking casino, shit. He was in mid-divorce, moving from one wife to the other.
Well,
By the way, she just did #1 bestseller book. Did you see that?
Yeah.
#1. She's #1 on the.
#1 bestseller book. Is he talking like her? This is #1 bestseller book. It is the #1 in bestsellering. Its book. It is the bestsellery book you will ever eat, with peanuts or butters or the raisins on top. Ants on a Log is the name of the sequel to my bestsellery book.
List, New York Times list. Now, to be #1 for Trump, to be #1 on the New York Times list is not even believable, right? You know what you have to.
Yeah, that's why she left her fucking last name off. That's why the book says Melania on it, you dumb motherfucker. For all this, okay. Let me tell you something, folks. Come here. Come here. Scoot in. Let me explain something to you. You know all that shit about Trump going, I say Harris, and people don't know who the fuck Harris is, so we say Kamala, right? That kind of stuff. Okay. You know what the originator of that is that Harris sounds too white and normal. Kamala sounds more exotic and therefore foreign and therefore black or whatever, and he thinks that will be more useful. But the bigger part of it is that Kamala Harris, it's Harris Walz. They're running fine. Kamala Harris, everybody knows her as one thing, but his wife is insisting on releasing a book right before the election that doesn't have her last name on it. It's just Melania. That's what's digging at him. That's where that shit comes from. She didn't even put her fucking, he's like, Trump being #1. Yeah, I guess it's impossible. At least she thought so. At least the fucking book company thought so, because they took her goddamn last name out. It doesn't say Melania Trump, you weirdo. It doesn't say Mrs. Trump. That's for goddamn sure. It says Melania, like you don't even fucking exist.
To go, she had to be #1 by thousands of books, okay? Because they're pretty tough on that.
No, you don't. I think you only have to be #1 by one book, right? You sell the most books. You got more books selling than anybody, right? Why does she have to be that far ahead? I mean, it's a cartoon, but
she's got the #1 bestseller, Melania.
Can I ask you a question about your business time in New York?
yes, please do.
Wollman Rink.
But and by the way, we're almost at the end of this. So can I just say I think this might be just him bringing this up. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Come on. This might be why his people wrap the interview. This question.
For those of you who don't know at home, Wollman Rink is a ice skating rink. The city couldn't fix it for 500 years because it's the city of New York. It was.
Yes, I think it was 500 years. Pretty sure that, yeah. The Iroquois Nation, it dogged them forever.
It's a train wreck. They come to you. They say, Mr. Trump at the time weren't running for president or anything. Can you fix this mess? You got it done in record time. I don't even remember. You have the rink.
Well, it was closed for 11 years. My kids were getting older. They kept saying, Ivanka, Daddy, can I go ice skating?
Yeah, this is how it went down.
I'm sorry, darling. The rink is under construction. After saying that for 11 years, for 11 years, it's been under construction for 11 years. My darling, you're the most beautiful little ice skater, but there goes your career because you have to start young. And they were building. So they were building.
Whoa. First of all, the most beautiful little ice skater sounds fucking creepy as shit. But on top of that, if she wants to be a professional ice skater, she's not going to the fucking park rink, you weirdo. The This indoor training facilities. If you raised your fucking kids at all, except to like ogle your daughter and ignore your sons, you would know this.
For 11 years, and they had spent just, numbers that were unbelievable. They couldn't get it to work. They were
Why were they kept trying to do it in the summer?
building it wrong. They had the wrong pipe. They had the wrong system. They used a refrigeration company from Miami. Right. Now, you don't go to Miami for a rink. You go to Canada.
Right.
I went to the...
Well, no. You might go to Miami because if Miami has a rink that's outdoors during part of the year, I guarantee they know how to keep fucking ice in Miami. It's a little harder. In Canada, it just happens, eh?
Montreal Canadiens.
Good Lord. We go to Montreal Canadiens. They're a special kind of Canadians.
I'm your father, Luke. Give in to the dark side of the force, you knob.
They came down. They were very nice. They came down. They said, this doesn't work. You have to use a brine system. Anyway, they were using a gas system. They had the wrong everything. And, they'd pour this big 50,000-foot site in little tiny patches.
Right.
So it was all uneven. You never saw a butcher job like this. So I took it over. So it was under construction for 11 years. I got it done in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And
I
it was
remember. It's a famous
perfect.
story in New York.
I had
People don't
cement
remember
trucks going, the Teamsters. I had cement trucks going from
The mob.
the rink back to Harlem, along the
Yeah.
park.
Oh, yeah.
And I had 40, 50 trucks standing there, all poured over a 2-day period at one time. They were doing little chunks, and then they wouldn't match, and then they tried to hook up pipes. The whole thing was the craziest thing. And the people from the Montreal Canadiens came down, and they said, oh, and
The Montreal Canadiens.
you remember, they kept stealing the copper pipe. You'd put pipe in the concrete.
Right.
But every night they'd put the pipe in, and the pipe would be gone the next day. The thieves, because copper is very expensive.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you don't want to use copper. You want to use hose. And it has to have water in it, warm water, and you have to put salt in the water. That way it doesn't. That's the whole thing. That was a big factor, So it's called brine. It's
Oh, my God.
water and salt. So the salt doesn't let it freeze, right? And it was great. And we opened it, and I ran it for many years. And de Blasio came along. And by the way, I hit him hard last night. Did you see that? Were you watching last night?
No, I was traveling up.
So they had the Al Smith
Yeah, the Alfred Smith.
dinner last night, the big Catholic dinner in the Plaza. It was great. The Cardinal was, everybody was.
Kamala skipped out.
Everybody was there but her.
I love your joke about Tampon Tim, by the way, that he didn't show up, but he's telling everyone he's there.
That's right.
Yeah, he's telling war stories.
We had a lot
about it
of
right
jokes. It's actually, you're supposed to be a comedian, at least for part of your speech. So
now. No, you were.
You're supposed to be a comedian for at least part of your speech. No, you're supposed to tell jokes, you weird motherfucker.
Good.
It
I
was
like that. You were pretty funny.
It came out. It was a
Uh-huh, yeah. You look real convinced there, Bongholio. Look at you, nothing says you were great like saying it exactly like you said it and then looking down at your questions to try and move on. Honestly, that's the closest thing to a standing ovation you could give him in this circumstance.
a great evening.
I know you're short on
Was
time.
de Blasio the worst mayor in history?
I think Dinkins was really bad. I think Dinkins was,
You don't question him. Just nod and say yes, you weirdo.
called him Stinkins.
How you never paid the workers on that ice rink? I'm sure.
Dinkins was bad.
Yeah.
You and I have been through Koch, Dinkins, Beam, mayors of New York.
Who was the best mayor?
Oh, Giuliani, by far. I worked as a cop under Giuliani. You went into Times Square under Giuliani. That's actually one of my questions. See if bad enough yet, New York City. You and I lived through the Giuliani era.
By the way, I was just in New York for Sexy Liberal, whatever, a month and a half ago, whenever it was. It was fucking awesome. I was walking around at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning in New York. It was amazing. It was just fucking New York. It's just all it wasn't, I will give them, it was not 1970s fucking Wolfen New York, right? But it was, it was modern, cool, evening traffic New York. Hi, Spicy Dragon. Yes, you did. It was great.
You go up, you get off the train station in Times Square, you get hit with 7 hookers, 20 drug dealers, and 3-card Monty guys.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Left and right? Giuliani gets elected. Mr. President, you know as well as I do. You walk through Times Square 6 months later, it's a totally different place. So when people tell me...
Yeah, but it was still that way. They fucking shut it down. That had nothing to do with fucking Giuliani. That was just the timing of it. They were like, this is a fucking tourist area. We got to clean it up. That's all that happened.
Donald Trump, who grew up in that New York and is committed to changing government, can't fix things. It's too bad. I say, BS. It was 1,000 times worse in New York, and Giuliani turned it around like that.
Well, it's...
Right, and it's still 1,000 times better. You do realize the calendar moves forward, right?
Getting bad, I will say. It's getting bad. Bad things are happening.
It's getting bad. Jesus. That's the other thing, too. Is like all these fuckers do all day now is like opine about how the like we're a declining nation, and it might look okay to you right now. Things might look like they're getting better, but they're about to get way worse than they ever have. Trust me. That's what this is. It's like the laziest fucking lie, and it's spitting in the face of everybody who just gets up and has a life in New York City or any other city in the fucking country. Like the way he shit talks this country all the fucking time. Honest to God, it's like he thinks 80% of the people in any of our big cities are criminals anyways. And that none of us have any response to it. There's no functioning government. There's no functioning law. There's nothing and that they're magically crime in big cities is fucking new.
Happening, and the migrants are making it happen really bad.
No, they are not.
Because, we have 100,000 migrants. Nobody has any idea how many. And
well, then maybe it's 20,000. Maybe it's 15,000. Maybe they all went home. If you have no idea. You seem to have an idea that's always more than whatever is said, even if you're the last person that said it.
Interesting. The mayor said, this is not sustainable, and I said he'll be indicted, and he was indicted. They indicted him. This is a bad group.
Hey, nice, excellent quality there, Bongholio. Really good production. I enjoy your weird little. I gotta say that. That's how I felt listening to him most of the time.
I will say it's getting bad. Bad things are happening, and the migrants are making it happen really bad because, we have 100,000 migrants. Nobody has any idea how many. And interesting, the mayor said, this is not sustainable, and I said he'll be indicted, and he was indicted. They indicted him. This is a bad group. Same group that we just talked about.
I feel like his people went over and pushed a button like a kill switch, like a dump button, and said, we got to go. And that's what that was.
And it's, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with it. But having a young Rudy at this moment, a young Rudy, because he did a great job.
You saw it.
This city was a mess. This whole place was a mess. And within a couple of years, it became the safest big city in the world, right?
No, not at all.
It was amazing. It was
not even, no. New York has never been the safest big city in the fucking world. Not even fucking close. What are you talking about?
Great for business with you.
He's got to be given credit for it. He did a great job.
Well, the question from
what did he do a great job at? Brooming the Italian mob so the Russians and Chinese could move in and the Russians and the Chinese could finance all your fucking buildings? No wonder you like him.
My audience, I put out a poll. I said, give me some questions for President Trump. I want to hear what you all have to say.
Oh, dear.
Personnel. Your first term, you were new to politics, which was a benefit, but in a little bit has a downside in that you don't know all the players. You're a business.
No, fuck you. No. False premise. He ran on the best people. He ran on the problem is DC, and you don't need any of these fucking people, and they're stupid anyways. He's got everybody on speed dial outside it, and he'll call the best people. No, you don't get to bitch that you didn't know all the right people. Just because the Heritage Foundation and the fucking Federalist Society handed you a shit list of assholes, no, you don't get to excuse yourself. The buck stops with you, you lazy bastard.
This guy. So people recommended you hires. Mm-hmm. You had to get rid of a lot of people. A lot of them turned out to be turkeys. And they're concerned the second term.
By the way, and their replacements turned out to be turkeys, right? Like the dude fired, patted him. It was He wasn't done patting himself on the back for firing Comey when he was telling himself, like, asking people around, who the fuck hired Ray? You did, you dumb motherfucker.
That we may have that same problem. I've told them, I know your team. I know they get it now. Do you have, I'm not asking for any names. I wouldn't dare, but do you have a set of people now
Right, don't ask for any names, because the ones he will suggest probably have pending indictments.
know you can trust who, when we get in, because we're not going to have a lot of time. In 2 years, there could be a midterm issue. Right. We've got 2 years to clean this disaster up. You feel like you've got a roster, like a team
So
of
when
hitters?
I first got elected, Dan, I was only, you probably heard me say this story, but I was there 17 times in Washington, D.C. So I wasn't a Washington person. I knew really nobody there.
Again, what's your point? I think it's weirder he never stayed the night. You're a well-known business person in the United States. You're very famous. You never stay the fucking night in D.C. ever? You just flew in to bribe somebody and split? Is that what... I mean, honestly.
And mostly because I was building a hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and a beautiful hotel that I sold to the Waldorf Astoria. You know, I did.
Yeah, we
with
love
it,
that hotel.
But I did a beautiful.
Yeah, you sold it to them because you were going broke. Because you couldn't keep any guests in it. Even with the fucking Saudis buying entire floors.
But that was mostly for that. So I was essentially never in Washington. So I didn't know people. So I had to rely on people, you know, for big positions. I'm saying, hey, do you know anybody that can be like this job and that job?
No, you don't get that. That's not allowed. I'm flag on the play. Bullshit. Fuck you. You said you knew the best people. You ran on hashtag the best people. This asshole ran on, I know the best people. I'll have them on fucking speed dial. I know all the best people, and we're run by stupid people, so I don't even know why you'd want anybody in D.C. to fucking start with. And then I'm going to get us out of Afghanistan. Didn't fucking do it. Now he admits he wasn't even planning on doing it in his second term.
And generally, I got it very good. We had Lighthizer, trade. We had a lot of good guys.
Jesus Christ. Lighthizer has been around for a long time.
But we also made some mistakes. Made mistakes at
like who?
Attorney General made mistakes. I made some mistakes, and I don't really blame myself for it. You know, they were highly recommended by rhinos.
Listen to this motherfucker. I don't want to blame myself.
Some mistakes. Made mistakes at Attorney General. Made mistakes. I made some mistakes, and I don't really blame myself for it. You know, they were.
I don't really blame myself. They were highly recommended by rhinos. Then you're not a leader. You aren't. That's on me. I hired that person. That's how leadership works. Not like, I don't know, these assholes totally done. I never even saw these assholes before. Like, what a dick.
They were highly recommended by rhinos.
Tough shit. What, aren't you supposed to be able to see through that? Don't you know the best people? Don't you know that we're run by stupid people and you know who to listen to and who not to? Didn't you run on that, you lazy bastard?
And they weren't the right people. They just weren't the right people. And they were.
So who are the right people now? A name. You gonna bring Lighthizer back? Mm-hmm. Who are you gonna put in charge of the DOD? Kash Patel?
Or some other positions too. Mostly I got it right. You know, nobody ever talks about the good. We had a lot of great people.
Like?
Right. But we had some mistakes.
Yeah, like, I mean, you had a lot of great people. Like, not Mike Flynn. Like the guy, Chris Ray. No, that like John Kelly. No, Tillerson. No. Let's see, Mike Pence. There you go. I knew I'd think of one.
And
But you fired him.
I fired him. And
no, he didn't. They resigned.
Here's what happens when I fire, because I'm famous or whatever for whatever reason. When I fire them, immediately the book companies go to them and they say, "Oh, we'll give you a book if you say bad things about Trump." If Bush fired somebody, nobody cares. You know, if somebody else fired, but immediately when I fire, they go to and they write something or they say, like Bolton was a stiff, he was a dumb guy, very stupid guy, but actually he came in handy because he was a maniac. You know, he always wanted to go to war with people.
Yeah, he wants to bomb everyone.
He wants to bomb. So he wouldn't talk because he was stupid. But what happened, I'd bring him into a room with Putin, and Putin would say, "Oh shit, Trump wants to go to war," because Bolton was with Bush, and they, think of it, they went into the middle.
Also, no, he didn't. He never brought fucking Bolton into a meeting with Putin to scare Putin that we're going to go to war with fucking Russia. What are you talking about?
At least they bombed the hell out of the place and they left. You know, it's like they bombed. This guy would go. He wanted to bomb anything. He's a nut job, but he was good for negotiating purposes. But then after a while, you fire him, and whenever you fire people. Generally, if they have an option, like with me, most people don't care. It's like they get fired, but there's nobody to write about the boss. But if the boss is famous, they can maybe get a
all presidents are famous
book deal. So
Yeah.
I believe in firing people. For instance, in Afghanistan, Biden should have fired every general.
Right, you believe in firing everybody. Okay, who set up the plan that they didn't use? What's the plan? You were going to get out with beauty and strength? What was the plan? Who wrote up that plan? Why didn't you fire that guy? They weren't able to implement it in the 4 years you were president. They weren't able to do it after you lost the election and before you handed over power. So, there's, in the time scale, there's no reason why you couldn't have. I mean, but for January 6th, you want to see some real firefights going on. You could have gotten us out of Afghanistan on January 8th, right? You could have spent 15 days getting everybody the fuck out. Right? Could have been ahead of schedule. Right? Why the fuck didn't you get us out? Who wrote up that plan, and why was it the general that wrote that up for you? Were you going to get out with beauty and strength? How come? How come you couldn't implement it? Was it that bad a plan, and why didn't you fire that person?
General and every person involved in that botched job. Moving the soldiers out first. Everything they did.
We didn't move soldiers out first. We brought in 6,000 extra troops to help extract everybody. Like, that's just stupid. And we pulled our troops and our contractors from the farthest reaches of the country because we were no longer controlling the country, nor would we want to. And so we moved those people out of the farthest bases, contracting them towards Kabul. We didn't just leave them in the fucking desert until the embassy was clear for no particular reason except to catch bullets from the Taliban fighters you released from jail. Here's a good idea. Fuck when you bring the troops out. How about this? How about you don't release 5,000 terrorists into the country until after we leave? How about that? Right? How about that? Why would you release 5,000 Taliban fighters first? Fuck who leaves last. Why would you do that first?
They should have all been.
Sorry, Sian, we're almost done.
Leave the military base first in Bagram.
First of all, they should have used Bagram, and then they dropped.
No, they shouldn't have. It's a 90-minute drive from Kabul to Bagram on a 2-lane road in the middle of the fucking desert that is held by ISIS-K. We're not going to put fucking busloads of civilian embassy personnel and people that have helped us in the war in Afghanistan for fucking 20 years and put them in like fucking school buses and drive them for 90 minutes through ISIS-K controlled territory to a base when there's an airport 15 minutes, like a 15-minute walk from the building.
Up Bagram, and China has Bagram right now, and it's a.
Who gives a shit? That's like saying they have our sandcastle.
I was in Bagram. It's amazing.
So it's.
They left it.
Yeah, they left.
They didn't even tell the
For what?
locals.
They should.
Locals showed up when there was nobody there.
Yeah, my plan was I was getting out, but keeping Bagram because of China, because it's a.
You can't. Excuse me. You can't get out and stay. You can't. I mean. I shouldn't have to explain what pulling out is to this motherfucker, but you can't stay in and leave at the same time.
Hour away from where they make.
By the way, hit the like, everybody. Share the show if you would. Let people know. We're going to cut this show down into chunks because it's a lot.
Their nuclear weapons. So anyway, that's where it is. That's the saddest story in maybe the most embarrassing story in the history of our country.
No, it isn't. Not by any stretch. How we left is no more embarrassing than the fact that we stayed there for 20 fucking years. Every day past the point when we knew we shouldn't have been there, which was a decade earlier, that we were spending $300 million a day in Afghanistan. Every day after that was the most embarrassing.
That whole Afghanistan.
Including the entirety of his presidency, where apparently he came in with a plan to leave immediately and didn't do shit.
we were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and strength.
We weren't going to get out. You just said we're going to stay in Bagram. We're going to keep Bagram. You can't stay and leave.
And we were going to get out. It was going to be...
No, we weren't.
We had to get out. It was 20 years, 21 years. It was ridiculous.
Why didn't you get out at fucking 18 years? Right?
But we were going to keep Bagram because of China. We didn't keep it.
Can I ask you a hypothetical?
Then we weren't going to leave.
Go on that. Say, I mean, obviously we can't prove it counterfactual, but you're the president. Say that 2020 debacle doesn't happen, and you're sitting there in the Oval. I agree. We had to get out of there. Do you say to them, the Taliban, here's the deal, brothers, we are leaving, but I'm telling you right now, you touch a hair on the head of one of our people, we are going to rain hellfire.
But I did say that. We didn't have any soldiers shot after I spoke with Abdul.
Yeah, because it was part of the conditional surrender. That's what he did. That's the only phrase for what he negotiated with the Taliban was a conditional surrender. We will leave by this date as long as you don't kill our people. We don't give a fuck if you kill Afghans. We don't give a fuck if you string up women. We don't give a fuck if you set fire to a fucking school. But don't shoot any of our soldiers or we're going to bomb a bunch of sites. But if you don't do that, if you can kill anybody but us, we'll be out by March, and then you fuckers can do whatever the fuck you want. Fill your boots. They didn't not kill us because they were afraid, or not kill us because they were worried about retaliation in any way. They didn't kill our soldiers because that was the promise. You don't do it, we'll fucking leave. What other phrase but conditional surrender is that? Because it wasn't a negotiated peace between the fucking Afghan government and the Taliban that he did. He left the Afghan government completely out of it. It was a conditional surrender. That's what he negotiated. And by the way, he's lately been saying that they were failing to meet those points anyways in the conditions.
Abdul, the leader of the Taliban. Yeah. We didn't have any soldier, not one soldier for 18 months was killed. And Biden actually admitted that at a speech a few years ago. He said, well, I have to say, no soldier's been killed. We were losing a lot of soldiers over there with Obama.
And you.
I said that if you do it, I don't want to say exactly what I said because it's not appropriate, but I said, you better not shoot our soldiers. We didn't.
All right, first of all, he's lying. Secondly, he's told us a bunch of times. I don't want to say it. Well, you've said it a bunch of times. You showed him a picture of your house, and he's like, oh, why do you show me a picture of my house? And he called me Your Excellency. We've heard the story.
Have one soldier killed, Dan.
Yeah.
Think of it, in 18 months. And then this horrible thing happened. They should have left from Bagram, number one, not for that base.
Moron. No. Stupid idea.
And
Again, hold on. You're moving an entire embassy staff, everybody. And there's an airport, which is plenty functional for everything you're doing, and you can protect the city. There's police and there's other stuff. There's still the functioning government at the time when it starts to happen. Never mind how fast it fell because of all the released criminals that this fucker let loose. But so instead of having everybody in the embassy take small transports 5 blocks to the... Well, fuck this. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you this because I know I'm dragging this on. Let me do it. Kabul airport map. Okay. So, boink. Let's try this. Civilian side, main entrance. I'm going to try I need a map, like a regular map area. Hold on. I'll just look at a regular map. Kabul map. Okay. So here's city. I'll let you a city map. That's what I need. Kabul city map. Okay, so get out of here. Back up, you silly thing. And open image in new tab. There we go. Okay, so let's see if this is where the American school is. Let's see. I'm trying to find the little Pakistan. There's the mosque. TNT office. Hold on. Control minus. Okay. So, in general, here you go. Boink. Commas. There you go. Here, open to here. Sorry. All right. So, effectively, the airport is down over in this side, just down this side of the city, and effectively the fuck. I wish I had the full map on here, but effectively you're walking from basically here to here. It's like, or driving or having a truck take you about 6 blocks to get this through an area that they had controlled. They blocked off these roads and these roads and these roads to keep people out or whatever. And the only way this ISIS K fighter snuck in is because the Taliban let him. And that would be the fuckers that actually nearly killed, they killed 13 of our people, 45 injured, and then killed 178 other Afghans on the civilian side of the airport.
We lost 13 soldiers.
Can't remember a name of one of them.
Many really badly hurt, with the legs and the arms and the whole thing.
And the whole thing, including the face.
We have Americans left behind. Yes.
No, we don't. We do not. We did not leave Americans behind. We have dual citizenship people who are in the opium trade who stayed.
Some very good people left behind, too, that maybe should have come with us.
Oh, yeah? Like who?
They had that airlift, which was terrible, with people falling off the planes. It was so bad, and we left behind $80 billion worth of equipment.
No, it didn't.
Biden never recovered from that. Everybody
What the fuck are you talking about? You never recovered from that, you liar.
saw what a loser he was.
Biden is a
after that.
grossly incompetent man, but here's the best.
Okay, asshole. Explain why you didn't get out at all. He got us out. Talk about grossly incompetent. We're out. We're not in Afghanistan. We're not spending $300 million a day in Afghanistan propping up a government that was failing. We're not involved in that country anymore. We're out. You set the date. He met it. He added 90 days to it so we could get more of our allies out, and then we're done. We haven't been in Afghanistan since Biden's first year in office. Fuck you, bye-bye. To be grossly incompetent, we'd have to still be there. That's what this asshole is. Grossly incompetent means running on Afghanistan and staying there.
Bad news. She's worse.
Oh,
she is
horrible.
more incompetent than Biden.
Yeah, no, she's horrible. Can I ask you a really...
Hey, Dan, I got to get going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're going crazy.
All right. Folks, I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up with the president. You got a little thing called the campaign coming up, and you got to go win. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you from my audience. I'm really... Oh, can I ask you one small favor? We're going to do election night coverage, and I want to do, Franklin Graham, Samaritan's Purse. Yeah. So I want to auction off a Donald Trump signed Bongino baseball.
Good.
And give it to Franklin Graham. Would you be...
A Bongino base... Sorry, Bongholio, do you use that to plug your rectum after taking this shit?
Kind enough to sign it on camera,
I would do it,
and that way everybody knows it's real. I would so deeply. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Mr. President. I think we could raise a fortune for Franklin Graham. You like that? Someone made a listener made
plenty
that
of
for us.
movement on it,
and we are going to auction this off, and everything. Franklin.
Plenty of movement on it? You mean because it's round?
Graham, Samaritan's Purse, coming your way. I know you like Franklin a lot.
Job.
He's doing an amazing job. I just want to make sure everybody knows it's real.
He's not doing a good job. Kamala. She's not doing a good job.
The worst. You're right.
What are you talking about? She's beating you in all the swing state polls right now. If she's doing a terrible job, you're fucked.
Biden was better. They were better off with him. There it is. We are going to raise a fortune for charity.
I mean, I don't have anything against them raising money for charity. That ain't going to do it, dummy.
100% to charity. There you see it, folks. President Donald J. Trump. Justin, grab.
Sorry. Is there a problem that Bongholio has that a lot of his viewers think he's selling bullshit Trump-signed stuff? Like it's not real? Or does Trump sell so much bullshit, nobody knows what's real anymore? Have
that, Sharpie. We appreciate it so much. Mr. President, thanks a lot. Best of luck in the campaign.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is amazing. You're going to do
pretty good, huh?
Yeah, this is, I guess.
That's like the old days.
I'll let Margot know how much money we raised for this.
I I gotta go. And he doesn't, they're not filming him getting up from the chair. Well, that was long. Thanks, guys. I went extra long. I thought that would be relatively short compared to some other shit, but and Trump never came out, insofar as I know, for his where is it? Yeah, this shit. Hold on. His little faith meeting? And it's Ben Carson. Okay, Trump interviewed by Ben Carson. Yeah, he was. So I guess we missed on this one, but this is Ben Carson interviews him. Introduces him. It's the Believers and Beyond or something. And Carson leaves the stage, and he won't enter until they play the song with nobody out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage music legend Lee Greenwood.
Oh, he's actually going to sing it live? Dear God, help us all. Yep.
Hello, North Carolina.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, I have hidden all my bone spurs, so my daddy protected me. From Bergdorf's to Access Hollywood, from New York to LA, I grab 'em by the pussy and proud to make 'em gay. All right, yeah, this is it. I gotta say, my timing. Okay, yeah. And then he comes out, and he still can't not stop himself from walking out there like. Okay. I'll just stand here while you. Thank you. You're just gonna wander back. Okay. There we go. And I'm just gonna stand here while you. Okay, you can do the whole song, and it's not awkward or anything. And it's so much. Is he still singing, or is he talking at this point? It looks like he's. Nope, he's still singing, and pointing, singing and pointing. Oh God. Oh, shit. He's singing over his recording. He's not doing backing tracks. He's just singing over top of. Really? Next to Mr. fucking Private Bone Spurs? God damn, this is shit. All right. Anyways, there we go. Irk.
You know, over the years, I've had and heard that song sung by.
I've had and heard it. I fucked that song once. Lee Greenwood's God Bless America. I fucked it. Oh!
Others, and you know, honestly, it's not the same. This man just sings it in a way that nobody else can sing that particular song. And
wait, sorry, who the fuck covered it? Disturbed? What are you talking about? I mean, look, no offense to Tears for Fears. Like, who? Who are you talking? What, you mean you had like fucking locals singing in places, and you had to sit through it at fucking primary races?
It's become so popular, like in some circles, the most popular song of its kind. And I just want to thank Lee.
Of its kind? Of all the jingoistic, weird hymns to a dude who got out of Vietnam with 5 deferments because his dad's rich and he faked bone spurs.
He's been with us from the beginning. Really.
No, he hasn't. He came back on during the second one.
A talented, unique guy and a good person with a great family. So thank you very much, Lee. We appreciate it very much.
And I'm proud to be here with so many patriots of the Patrioty Patriots.
A very special hello to North Carolina. We love North Carolina. I don't know if my boy told you, but Laura and Eric have two beautiful children. One of them happens to be named Carolina. So,
Yes. Is she North or South Carolina? Did you talk to Kanye about this?
so that's pretty good. That means you like the place pretty much, huh?
Pretty much. Which one? There's two of them. We only need one. I think there should only be Carolina. The state of Carolina. We don't need a North and a South. Fuck you.
So it's
We don't need a North and a South Dakota. I got news for you. I guarantee one governor could handle North and South Dakota. I fucking guarantee it.
great. But it's also great to be back in this incredible state with so many proud American patriots who believe in faith and family, God and country. Thank you very much.
4 words I really don't even feel. I just say them and you guys clap like harbor seals.
We need more of that in this nation, don't we? We need more of that. It'd be a much different place right now, because right now it's not doing well. Right now we're a failing nation, but we will soon be a great nation again.
You can't not put shit in. All right. I'd like, do I hang out and cover this whole fucking thing, or do I actually eat some food?
Earlier today, I visited Western North Carolina and witnessed the terrible
Western North Carolina.
devastation from Hurricane Helene. I was actually here about a week and a half ago, right after, but I didn't want to come into certain sections because I wanted to let them do their job. And our federal government, as you know, and FEMA's really let them down, especially in North Carolina.
No, they haven't.
It's a shame. They spent a lot of money on having illegal people come into our country, migrants, you've heard about it, and there wasn't a lot of money for the people of North Carolina or
Gibberish.
a lot of the people from a lot of other states that were also devastated by that monster. That was a monster storm.
Why don't you just bring down take a Sharpie and draw over it? Anyways, look, we could cover this shit, but it's going to be the same garbage. I'll go through and find a piece of it, but I don't need to subject you to the entirety of that nonsense. But I adore you guys. I'm going to go eat some food, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. It's the House Parks radio program, Megaworldwide, on Saturday, on the morning show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, afternoons 3 to 5. Pacific time, all Pacific time. What else am I forgetting? Podcast and patreon.com. There you go. So did I get all of them in? Oh, a week from Tuesday, Ultimate Jam Night. The show last night, I got to say, Thomas Lennon and everybody at the Teen Cancer Benefit was lovely. Jamie, everybody who put it on, they were all fantastic, and it was lovely to be there. And then what's a Sexy Liberal coming up? It's going to be very exciting. Adam Schiff and Mark Hamill. I'm just saying, it's going to be a pretty good gathering right before the election. And don't forget, if you want to get me a gift for my birthday, which was on September 25th, the best thing you could do is vote early. Let me know, bank your vote, and tell us in the chat room. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And if anything, my concern for most people is that the kidney might at some point...
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Oh. That's dumb.